ways, he sums up Belgium. And if you look at De Bruyne's numbers as well, it is very similar, that they seem to have a mental block. They can breeze through a group stage and then they don't perform. I mean, we saw them notably from the British Isles point of view in 2016 when they were excellent in the group stage, and then Wales did a real job on them in the quarter-finals. It was a great night for Wales, but it summed up really the Belgian malaise when it really matters.
And Dean, when you look at all the teams in this European Championship, so many of the number 9s are familiar names, have been around for a long time. Obviously with England you've got Harry Kane, France, Olivier Giroud, Lukaku like we've just mentioned, Alvaro Morata for Spain, Cristiano Ronaldo at Portugal as well. Where are the newcomers?
They're different. They're not
Play
as
for Norway.
Yes, they do. Yeah, but they're different. We just don't recognise them yet, and I think the times of the type of centre forwards that are starting to drift out of the game, it's changing. You're now a piece on a chessboard for managers in terms of moving around in certain ways to free up a certain player or a certain area. And you're part of that now, and out of possession you've now got this role where you have to defensively get into position, or you're the one that triggers a press, whereas it used to be the whole team evolved around you as the forwards, whether it was a single striker or as a pair. Certainly when I first started out in my football career, and that's changed a lot now. We see more of the type of striker that doesn't necessarily play right up there against the centre backs, that will drift and make themselves very difficult to mark and try and pull away defenders. It's a very, very different role, I think, that a lot of managers are wanting from their centre forward, and because of that we're struggling to recognise those strikers that are coming through, Nigel.
And we saw Scamacca playing for Italy against Albania on Saturday night on TalkSport. He really is the modern number 9. He's scored 1 goal now in 17 appearances. You may look at that and think, well, that's not too hot, but you look at how he plays. He's constantly coming deep. He's constantly knitting things together and bringing the wide players, the overlapping fullbacks, into the game. And he was excellent for Italy the other night, but of course didn't score. So maybe we have to judge players more than their goal-scoring record. Of course, Lukaku's goal-scoring record is extraordinary, but maybe the way the Premier League is played now, particularly when he's been at Chelsea and Manchester United, possibly he doesn't offer enough outside the penalty area.
Yes, that willingness to get involved, as you say, to play deep, to be a part of the link-up players as well. OK, Nigel and Dean, for now, thank you very much, but let's bring you the latest odds right now ahead of today's action with William Hill.
In the Zone on TalkSport with William Hill. Prepare for greatness with William Hill. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Joining us now, it's William Hill ambassador Sam Norris. How you doing, Sam?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, yourself?
Yeah, very, very well. Very intrigued about this one. Obviously, we spoke a little bit earlier on about Belgium once being the golden generation. There's still a few of those players involved. I imagine, based on where they both are with the world rankings, etc., that very much Belgium hot favourites.
Yeah, absolutely. They're as sure as 4-9 to get the better of Slovakia in the 90 minutes market. Slovakia are 13-2, big underdogs, but in Romania beating Ukraine, we have had the first winning underdog of the tournament so far. Denmark didn't win as favourites yesterday, but Romania were the first team who went off as a betting underdog to actually win. So the underdog has entered the tournament, but it's going to be hard work, you think, for Slovakia. The draw is 100-30, and in the 2-up markets as well, Belgium are 2-5 there, Slovakia are 5-1. You'll get a payout in that particular market if the team you select go up by 2 goals at any stage in the match. Going to be hard work for Slovakia, though. I mean, they're rated as 500-1 outsiders to win Euro 2024, joint with Georgia. There's no side who are a bigger price to lift the trophy, so that kind of illustrates the task they've got on their hands.
We were talking about the strength of Romelu Lukaku, no doubt, wonderful in front of goal. I imagine he's topping the charts when it comes to goal scoring, the first goal scoring odds. He
is, absolutely. He might not be a bad price, though. He's 10-11, so just a shade of odds on. 14 goals he scored in Euro qualifying, more than anybody else. 20+ this season for Roma. He's got a fabulous record for Belgium, and it might just be a game where once you're expecting them to score 1 or 2. You've got loads of kind of star quality names listed in the Belgium side as well. Kevin De Bruyne will be a standout for many. He's 3-1 to score. But you can also play him in the assist markets. He's 7-4 to lay one on today, which might be of slightly more interest to people getting involved. And we shouldn't discount Slovakia totally. Lukas Hraslin may be the most likely from their point of view. He led the way in qualifying for them with 3 goals. He's 24-5 to notch any time, just behind Robert Bozanic, who's rated as the most likely Slovakian goal scorer. He's 15-4, but there'll be plenty who will be expecting Slovakia to get 0 out of this game.
Indeed, yeah, I'm sure some will be thinking that. What about value in a bet builder, Sam? What are you going for?
Yeah, I always like to take a look at these, particularly when the favourites like Belgium are today are so short. We'll start with the really obvious one we've touched on already, Romelu Lukaku to score. That doesn't need too much selling to you. He bagged 14 of their 22 goals in qualifying, as mentioned. I'm going to take Belgium minus a goal as well. The 6 games that they won in qualifying, they won 4 of them by 2 or more goals. So I think backing them to do so again tonight might be a nice way in. And the best card bet in the game could be Ondrej Duda for Slovakia. He got sent off twice this season playing for Verona in Serie A. He was one of the top tacklers for Slovakia during qualifying. And the man in the middle might just help us out here as well. Turkish referee Halil Umut Mele is refereeing in his first ever major tournament game today, so he might be keen to establish himself, and he flashed more than 5 cards a game in the Turkish top flight this season, so hopefully he's got his notebook at the ready, and fingers crossed Duda's on the end of one of them. That bet is 9-1 in the normal markets, but with the bet boost applied at williamhill.com and on the app, that goes up to north of 11-1.
Brilliant, Sam, thank you. Enjoy the game. That was Sam Norris from William Hill, and that was a look ahead to the latest odds, all thanks to William Hill. Terms and conditions apply. It's 18 and over. BeGamblerWare.org.
In the Zone on TalkSport with William Hill. Prepare for greatness with William Hill. 18 plus, gamblerware.org.
Okay, this is the first group game for Belgium and Slovakia in Group E. It's coming to you from Frankfurt. Kickoff is in, less than 15 minutes now. Stay with us. This is live on TalkSport.
Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
Well, you can see why people are talking about Asda, can't you?
Of course, on paper, Asda have a great lineup with 2 for £7 on Coke 8 packs. Then there's pizza price drops, including the talented spicy chicken fajita flavour and classic 4 cheese deep dish, worth £3 each, now £2 each.
And don't forget the dependable garlic flatbread was £1.80, now £1.50. What a lineup!
Get match ready at Asda this summer. Asda, that's more like it. Selected stores online subject to availability. Coke 330ml, £4.25 each. Pizzas and flatbread end 17th of July. May exclude express and small stores. See asda.com/small stores.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
On the beach, on the beach, on the beach.
Booking geniuses, save your summer. Get a wiggle on and book yourself a bargain with On the Beach. Big budget or small, we've got a mega holiday for all. Should have been a rapper. On the Beach. Book like a genius, holiday like a fool.
ATO protected.
On the beach.
Let's go live to hear about that winning goal.
The crowd's gone absolutely wild here. How on earth do you sum up your emotions right now?
Amazing. A hat-trick is just the best feeling ever.
Is it though? Is kicking a ball into the back of the net really better than food fulfillment from Burger King? That warm, fuzzy feeling of total food satisfaction, like finishing the last bite of a Gourmet King's Barbecue Steakhouse Angus.
No.
Correct. Burger King. That's food fulfillment.
This Euros, The Sun is bringing you all the gossip, goals and giants of the game. Get insights and analysis from Harry, should have been England manager, Redknapp, Jack, the maestro, Wilshere, Gordon, no nonsense, Strachan, and Jurgen, the winner, Klinsmann. You won't want to miss it. Don't miss out, only in The Sun.
This tournament, prepare for greatness with William Hill. Get ready for last-minute winners, legendary goals, and straight red cards. Oh, what was he thinking? Win 25% more on every single game this tournament with Bet Builder Extra, online or in the app. Only from William Hill. Available day before match to kick-off. Bet Builders of 3+ selections at 3-1 or more. Pre-match singles, match stake £20. Full T's and C's apply. 18+, begamblerware.org.
Here she is, the 3-time world champion. What has she got in store for us today? Things are starting to heat up. Here she goes.
Triple builders, double stir. I don't believe it. And a chocolate digestive to finish it off. A thing of beauty. You have to say, the judges are going to love this one.
British Gas.
powering home fans during this summer of sport.
Settle down for a night of crime. Witness a heist. Follow a car chase. Eat too much popcorn. Meet a mafia boss. Join in on a bank robbery. Think about making a cup of tea. Be too comfortable to get up. For less.
Selected IKEA sofas are now at a new lower price, along with thousands of other products. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Euro Game Day Live, delivered by TalkSport with Burger King. Get the ultimate food satisfaction this half-time with the flame-grilled bacon double cheeseburger XL. Order now on the Burger King app.
TalkSport traffic.
West Yorkshire, the M1 southbound is partly blocked after a collision just by the entry slip at junction 41 for Cargate. In Bedfordshire, the M1 southbound, that's partly blocked after a collision. It's between junction 13 for Bedford and 12 for Flitwick. And in Warwickshire, delays on the M6 northbound, that's partly blocked by a broken down lorry just by junction 3. That's a turn off for Nuneaton and Coventry. I'm Adam Moore.
TalkSport. Energising ball by ball, kick by kick coverage of the biggest tournament in European football.
It is game on!
Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport. Achtung, baby!
You're listening to Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport as we bring you live commentary of Belgium versus Slovakia, which is a 4 o'clock kick-off with me, Natalie Sawyer. 5 o'clock kick-off, I should say, with me, Natalie Sawyer, Dean Ashton and Nigel Adderley, presented by Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now. Just quickly, the France striker Kylian Mbappe says his new club Real Madrid won't let him play at the Olympics in Paris this summer. Interestingly. Don't forget you can hear live commentary of France's opening game of this year's Euros against Austria tonight. That is straight after us. It's 8 o'clock that one gets underway. And tomorrow it is Premier League fixture list release day. We'll bring you that from 9 a.m. tomorrow morning during TalkSport Breakfast. Now we are moments away from the two teams making their way out onto the pitch at the Frankfurt Arena for Belgium against Slovakia. Dean Ashton, the former England striker, is alongside Nigel Adderley, and we've spoken, Dean and Nigel, about Belgium in detail. But Nigel, what are the strengths of Slovakia?
Well, I think they've got a real togetherness, and if you look down their team, they do have plenty of experience. Martin Dubravka in goal, of course, the Newcastle goalkeeper, 35 years of age. Peter Pekarik, 37 years of age, their captain at the heart of their defence. Milan Skriniar, of course, has won titles in France and Italy. David Hansko is a very good central defender or a fullback with Feyenoord, and Juraj Kučka with Slovan Bratislava now as another player, 37 years of age. He's got 15 years of international experience. So they are the underdogs, but they've got nothing to fear, and they won't be fazed because so many of their players have been on this sort of stage at club level and done well.
The pre-show, pre-match entertainment's being delivered out on the pitch for us as the flags of both sides are unveiled. And Dean, I know Kevin De Bruyne has spoken about Belgium being ready to do something good at these Euros. Do you think they can?
I'm not sure, if I'm honest, because it's still a relatively new squad. You know, lots of players now 26 and below in Tedesco's squad, and look, they're going to have most of the possession, but they're not necessarily a possession-based team as much as they were. Nowadays, they look to be compact and they'll break with pace. But I think against Slovakia, they're going to have the bulk of possession, and wide areas is where they've got so much strength, pace, ability. With Carrasco, you know, playing as a left back, but he'll probably be a left winger. Doku and Trossard, Kevin De Bruyne and Lukaku. So it'll be more a case of can Belgium switch the play quickly, get those wide players into the game, and can Slovakia hold out and look to break?
Well, Belgium have never lost to Slovakia, but this is their first competitive meeting and first game since 2013 as well. This is Belgium's 7th appearance at a European Championship. Their best result was winning it, or getting to the final, I should say, in Euro 1980. The teams are lining up in the tunnel then. You can hear already the crowd getting whipped up for this one. Romania beating Ukraine 3-0 earlier on has given them the advantage already in Group E. So either Belgium or Slovakia will want to do the same today in Frankfurt. The teams then about to make their way out. Let's hand you over to your commentary team of Dean Ashton and Nigel Adderley.
Thank you, Natalie. Good afternoon once again. And Belgium have been the favourites to win tournaments for a generation, but just like England 20 years ago, they produce moments of brilliance, but never when it really matters. Slovakia are huge underdogs today, but have a team full of players who are battle-hardened, and they have been part of successful teams domestically in Europe, and they will believe this is a massive opportunity for them today. Is this the occasion when Belgium will finally deliver at an international tournament? We have been waiting for so many years, but for so many of these legendary names, it is a case of now or never. And Belgium against Slovakia coming up on TalkSport following the national anthems.
If you are able to, please stand up for the national anthems, starting with Slovakia.
Many of the previous games so far at Euro 2024, a pretty even split of fans inside the stadium. The Belgians wearing all red, many of the Slovaks wearing white. The ground holds around 46,000. It's where England will play Denmark live on TalkSport on Thursday, but here today it is all about the opening game in Group E for both Belgium and Slovakia after a real surprise earlier on in Dusseldorf, with Romania winning 3-0 against much fancied Ukraine. Here are the two teams once again. 6 English-based players in the Belgium starting lineup. 2 more are currently out on loan from Premier League clubs. Casteels in goal, Castagne, Weiss, De Bast and Carrasco across the back. Carrasco playing at left back is a surprise. Mangala and Onana holding in midfield. Trossard, De Bruyne and Doku behind Lukaku in attack. Slovakia, Dubravka in goal, Pekarik, Vavro, Skriniar and Hansko the back 4. Kuchka, Lobotka and Duda in midfield. Schranz, Bozanic and Haraslam in attack. Bastian Dankert of Germany is the VAR official. Umit Mela of Turkey is our on-field official, with Serdar Gozubiuk of the Netherlands inside the technical areas. And the two captains, Kevin De Bruyne and Milan Skriniar, who were on opposite sides in the Champions League final when Manchester City beat Inter at the end of last season, here at the end of the current one, in action for the first time at Euro 2024. And Dean, is this Belgium's time, or will they flatter to deceive once again?
Well, of course, they've still got some of the so-called golden generation here at this tournament, none more so than Kevin De Bruyne and Lukaku, but they've also got some fresh players into the squad. They've got a slightly different style in the way that they defend. They've been much better defensively under Tedesco, and they look to break with such pace. So if Slovakia at any point get drawn out of their positions and the ball is lost, watch how quickly Belgium just push forwards and show that pace. But I think Slovakia will look to dig in, make this difficult and deny De Bruyne space.
And can Slovakia get forward themselves? Because you look down their list, they don't have too many out-and-out goal scorers in the squad.
No, they don't. I think it'll be fleeting, their attacks, but if they can as well win free kicks, get set plays, they're a big team, fantastic in the air, and have shown that throughout qualification. So that could be where they're a real threat.
It's a last dance for the golden generation. Belgium kicking off yet another major tournament against a Slovakian side who were in top 5 when the draw was made, down among the minnows, but they overperformed to reach their third successive Euro, and they will be confident of an upset here today in Frankfurt, in the stadium where England will feature on Thursday. It is Slovakia who get the match underway against Belgium in Group E on TalkSport. Already today, Romania beating Ukraine by 3-0. Later on TalkSport we have Austria against France from Group D, following the Netherlands' victory against Poland yesterday. And it's Slovakia wearing all white, defending the goal away to our left in the first half. Already they try and play out. Skriniar put on early pressure, and he has given up a throw into Belgium on the far side there right.
Yeah, fascinating. Straight away, as soon as Slovakia had that ball back with their centre-backs, Belgium dropped right into their own half. No interest whatsoever of looking to press high. They left De Bruyne up there with Lukaku, and that is the slight difference now. They look to sit in, they look to be narrow, compact defensively, and they're then happy to break with such pace and quality that they have.
Fast plays it wide to the far side, and Castagna, the Fulham man, with a long ball forward onto the chest of Skriniar, and Slovakia will try and break themselves. Bosanic, though, beaten to it by Fast, but at the moment the white shirts are quicker to the ball around the centre circle, and it's worked wide to this near side, and the 37-year-old Petar Petkarik, who plays in the German second division with Hertha Berlin, this is 128th appearance for his country this afternoon. A long ball played forward again, looking for Bosanic, and he will look to pull on to Wout Fast at every opportunity, but on this occasion the ball beats them both, and it's all the way back to Cohen Casteels defending the Belgian goal away to our right.
Yeah, and just an early point, Leandro Trossard starting on the left-hand side rather than the right. Wondered whether Doku would start on the left, but I think with Carrasco playing as a left-back, Trossard then drifting in off that left-hand side just gives Carrasco all that space down the left as Doku's away.
Doku is away now for Belgium, down the right-hand side, rides 2 challenges, has Lukaku inside the penalty area, away from a third, infield towards De Bruyne, Lukaku with the shot blocked by Dubravka, and Romelu Lukaku, who broke records for his goal scoring in the qualification, almost gives Belgium the lead within 3 minutes.
Frightening pace and dribbling ability already from Doku. Gets away from 3 challenges, gets himself in towards the penalty area, picks out De Bruyne, and then it gets really messy. De Bruyne is stretching, hits Lukaku on the thigh. He actually does really well to adjust and try and half volley it on the stretch, but too close to Dubravka, and it just hits him straight in the chest, either side, and it's a goal for Lukaku, who was on the stretch.
14 goals in 8 games for Romelu Lukaku during qualification, breaking a record once set by Cristiano Ronaldo. He has 11 goals in 22 games in major finals, but 9 of those have come in the group stage, which maybe tells you all you need to know about Belgium's progress in previous competitions. We have 2 Italian coaches in charge today, Domenico Tedesco of Belgium and Francesco Calzona for Slovakia. He was also the interim manager at Napoli towards the end of the season as well. A job share. Slovakia prepared for this competition as Bozanic plays it wide to this near side. And Schranz. And Calzona is supported and assisted by Marek Hamšík, the most famous player from Slovakia's recent times, their record caps holder and goal scorer. I remember him giving England a real lesson in how to keep the ball back in 2016 when both teams qualified for the round of 16. 4 minutes played on TalkSport. Belgium 0, Slovakia 0 in Frankfurt in Group E. And if you've just joined us, a real surprise earlier which we brought you over on TalkSport 2. Many people talking about Ukraine as dark horses in this tournament, and so often that proves to be dangerous talk, and it was today because Romania beat them 3-0.
Yeah, and of course both of these sides will have been watching that eagerly to see how the table sets up before this game. And I think from a Slovakian point of view, if Belgium are going to give them a lot of the ball, how will they play out? Well, Stanislav Lobotka, terrific player from Napoli, he'll look to drop in alongside the 2 centre-backs and allow the 2 full-backs to go. What a ball.
Doku again forward towards Lukaku. He's onside beyond Dubravka. He's forced wide, but now Trossard inside the penalty area. Crosses high, and Dubravka does brilliantly to leap above Lukaku. He just about gets something on the ball and manages to gratefully grasp it at the second attempt.
Oh, I think it just felt as if that ball in towards Lukaku was just overhit. And I thought Dubravka did brilliantly. And what you've got to do as a goalkeeper, you've got to be so quick off your line that when the striker, as Lukaku did there, the minute the striker turns and then all of a sudden looks up, he sees the goalkeeper there, just panics slightly, Lukaku, big touch away, and Trossard just didn't give him the ball back.
Now Harrison at the other end does well to avoid a goal kick, and Belgium have a corner throw in by the corner flag on the far side, but already we have seen the pace of Jeremy Doku. A real feature for Manchester City in a number of key games this season. Of course, scored in the FA Cup final in a losing cause. But now a dangerous ball into the penalty area from him, and here is an opportunity for Slovakia, and they've scored! Ivan Schranz with the opening goal for Slovakia, and that was a defensive calamity from Belgium. Jeremy Doku with an awful ball into the penalty area. The first shot was blocked, and Ivan Schranz was there to pick up the pieces, but I think the flag has been raised and it won't count.
It did very much feel as if he was offside, but I don't know why Jeremy Doku is getting involved down in the right back position. He needs to be higher up. He just goes to try and play it fast, gets it horribly wrong. Lovely little flick.
He's onside.
He is. Lovely little flick to start with from Schranz. And then Bozanic with the strike. Good save in the end from Castile, but then it fell to Schranz. He did everything right, kept it low, which all you can do from a tight angle. Goes just either side of Castile's, and they've taken full advantage of a horrible mistake.
Well, we were bigging up Jeremy Doku, but that was absolutely dreadful. In the opening minutes of the opening game in a major tournament, and Slovakia making the most of the opportunity. Ivan Schranz, they've had the VAR check, and it was a simple one for Bastian Dankert, because he was clearly onside even though the flag was raised in the stadium. And Slovakia lead Belgium by 1-0, and the golden generation are under pressure already.
But it's their own doing. I mean, Doku, like I said, didn't need to go and get involved down in the right back position. Tried to be clever with a little sort of roll of the ball over with the underside of his boot and then pass it to Fass. He got it horribly wrong and they were onto them straight away. I've got to say, Schranz to start with, that little Cruyff flick into the path. I think it was actually Kuzka in the end who took the strike. Casteels parries it. Schranz is there to finish really calmly in the end.
Well, we saw Italy concede the quickest ever goal in European Championship history against Albania on Saturday night. They came back to lead very quickly, but what can Belgium do here after two good early opportunities? They find themselves a goal down, and Haraslan is away now down the left-hand side for Slovakia again, but this time he's just crowded out by Castagna. It was an excellent ball forward from Kučka to find him, and now Slovakia, in the early stages at least, with 9 minutes played, have Belgium where they want them, a goal up, and they can hit on the counter-attack.
Oh, it'll really annoy Domenico Tedesco because they've been so much better defensively, Belgium, especially in recent games. 5 clean sheets in 6, and then just to gift Slovakia that goal.
Well, it was Wout Fass who was appealing for offside, but he stood there appealing for offside and played Schranz on. Now Doku at the other end, looking to come forward and redeem his error, looking to break into the penalty area beyond Duda. Duda goes down, and Doku complains, saying he was pulled back, but in the end, Umit Mele, the referee, in his first ever match at a major tournament, has given the free kick to Slovakia, who lead by a goal to nil on TalkSport with 10 minutes played.
Just about had enough strength there, Duda, to just halt Doku. He looks so, I mean, I know he's made the mistake, but he's looked so dangerous already from that right-hand side.
Dangerous in both penalty areas.
Yes.
Now a long ball played forward again, fast beating Bozanic in the air, but Bozanic is quicker to the second ball. De Baster's lost out to Bozanic again, and in the end it ricochets out of play on this near side, and I think that Belgium have been penalised for handball. It was again Kučka who was causing the problems. Well, he was the player who touched the ball with his hand, but the question is, did De Bas foul him first? Well, a free kick has been given to Slovakia, and an opportunity for them to send their considerable height forward, and Denis Vavro and Milan Skriniar are rumbling towards the Belgian penalty area on a warm evening in Frankfurt, with Slovakia leading Belgium by a goal to nil. The free kick from Duda, high into the penalty area, flicked on by Schranz, nodded back in towards the penalty spot, but in the end the flag is raised for offside. It was Vavro who nodded the ball back, but the flag was raised and the free kick has been given to Belgium, who look rattled at the moment.
Yeah, they do. That was a pretty clear one though from Vavro, just when that initial contact came and it was flicked towards the back post. Vavro had just gone a fraction early, but it's really given them a boost, hasn't it, Slovakia? And also I think the fact that Belgium had dropped off them right from the start of the game.
De Bruyne now with a high diagonal wide to the far side, looking for Doku. We've seen that on so many occasions in sky blue shirts this season in the Premier League, but on this occasion it just skips away from Doku, and it will be a throw in to Slovakia, and it will be very interesting to see how Doku responds here, because incredibly talented, but a young player, 22 years of age, and that has got to play on his mind.
Yeah, it does as a player, but I think try and give him the ball as much as possible in an attacking area, and that's the way he's going to almost redeem himself, if you like, with his attacking play.
Laurent Mangala on loan at Lyon from Nottingham Forest this season, alongside the Everton midfielder Amadou Onana for Belgium today. De Bruyne with the captain's armband. He's been caught by Pekarik, and it will be a free kick for Belgium, about 30 yards out, just left of centre on this near side. So many Belgian players, of course, feature in the Premier League, and it is Premier League fixture release day tomorrow from 9 a.m. on the TalkSport network and online, and also on social media. And the Ipswich player Connor Chaplin will be a guest on TalkSport Breakfast, looking ahead to that tomorrow. De Bruyne with the free kick high into the penalty area beyond both Mangala and Lukaku, and I think a free kick's been given anyway for a nudge on Pekarik. And Slovakia have been gifted a dream start here.
Yeah, Belgium will again look to their experienced players, as did Italy the other night, to remain calm, to remain focused on the way that they're playing. And you can sense that when that ball goes in towards De Bruyne in midfield, that's where Slovakia are going to be really tight, but they've looked to switch it, Belgium, quickly, and a couple of times Doku and Carrasco on the other side will try and use the width.
And now Belfast getting too familiar with Robert Bozanic in the centre circle. He concedes the free kick. Jan Vertonghen on the bench here today, and it's a relatively inexperienced central defensive pairing of De Bast and Fass rather diving in again against Bozanic, and Bozanic will love that.
Yeah, he will, but that is a feature of this Belgium side, is the centre-backs in particular very, very aggressive when that ball goes up towards the forward players, and that's where they like to try and stop the attacks or let it run through to the goalkeeper. So we'll see that plenty, I think, from Fass and De Bast.
And that sea of red shirts away to our right. The Belgian supporters silenced at the moment as Harrisland makes another run forward on the far side, and on one or two occasions he had left Castagna standing, but again the pass was overhit. And here is Onana for Belgium, wide towards Castagna again, who comes back in field, and he's got support from Onana, and now Fass inside the penalty area. Zeno De Bast, only 20 years of age, now with Sporting in Portugal, having started his career at Anderlecht. De Bruyne pirouettes well in midfield and plays it wide towards Doku again. Everything for Belgium coming down their right. Doku just drags it back into the penalty area, fires in towards that near post, and on the corner of the 6-yard box, a stooping Skriniar will head the ball away.
Hansko struggling already against Doku. His feet are just too quick, and he just dived inside there and looked to take the strike with the left foot. Skriniar perfectly placed just to nod that away. But again, they'll try and press Slovakia, but they haven't got a brilliant understanding of it. So if Belgium can get it right, they will be able to play through that press.
Lukaku lays it back towards De Bruyne. He brings Carrasco into the play down the left-hand side. 15 minutes play. Belgium trailing by a goal to nil. Trossard infield towards De Bruyne again. Back towards Trossard inside the penalty area. Pekarico makes the challenge, and I think Trossard has been penalised for the contact on him, and it will be Slovakia's opportunity to clear their lines once again.
Yeah, used all of his 128 caps of knowledge there. He could sense the run from Trossard once he played that inside and just made sure he tracked the run. Brilliant challenge at the end, and the bonus of flicking it off Trossard as well.
16 minutes played, Belgium 0, Slovakia 1. And you're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport, presented by Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. Coming up from Dusseldorf later on in Group D, Austria play France. France, of course, are many people's favourites to win the tournament. We'll see them this evening. There's Wout Fass with that shock of hair gathers midway inside the Belgium half, but play has been halted because Onana has a problem inside the centre circle.
Yeah, he's just gone up and over the top of Duda and just fell awkwardly on his hip. Onana, he gives them that height in midfield, but also from set plays he'll be the one that can actually maybe cause Slovakia some problems.
This the same Slovakian team which beat Wales 4-0 in their final warm-up game last weekend. And they do have depth, but this I think is by far their strongest 11. And if you look down the list, we're looking at players that they'll hope to could possibly make an impact in the closing stages, but no more than that, as Castagna shoves over Harrisland on the far side. And Slovakia, with 18 minutes played, have looked pretty good, apart from the odd scare when Lukaku found space inside the penalty area. And it's the Belgian fans looking concerned at the moment, Dean Ashton.
Yeah, it's Doku who's been the real issue for Slovakia. When Belgium have been able to switch the play quickly to Doku, he's easily got the beating of Hansko.
Now Bozinic inside the penalty area on this near side, the right. And the challenge comes in from Fas, and he jabs it behind for a corner to Slovakia. And set pieces are always key for them, with the amount of height they have in their side.
Lovely run from Bozinic. Just split the two defenders, arced his run behind Fas down the side of Debas. And in the end, Fas did very, very well, but lovely little run from the centre forward.
Lucas Harrisland will take the corner kick. He does have the option of playing it short to Duda. Otherwise, it will be an outswing. Harrisland's delivery high towards the far post. Good leap from Fas to clear. Lobotka will head it down to Petkarik, and now it's wide to the far side again. Clipped in towards the box, but Debas does well to track the run of Hansko, who was onside down the left, but it will be a throw in to Slovakia.
Interesting little move from Slovakia there. All four looking to attack the ball, sprinted back out to the edge of the penalty area and then back in, but Fas, who wasn't actually man marking, just came and met it well.
And it's broken up by Doku on the far side, and this time he manages to win a throw-in for Belgium. It was Jeremy Doku's error which ultimately resulted in the opening goal from Ivan Schranz in the 7th minute, and Slovakia leading Belgium by a goal to nil. And Belgium, since the goal, have not offered a huge amount going forward here. We played 20 minutes.
No, actually Slovakia have settled really nicely into their way of playing and their shape. And like I said, because the press isn't that great, but that's
it's been given away now by Dubravka. Fired back in by Trossard, but over the top. And that was a real opportunity for Leandro Trossard. Dubravka dallying on the edge of the penalty area, and he gave the ball straight to Trossard. He was 30 yards out. He took the shot early, and he scooped it high over the top.
He is so fortunate, mind Dubravka, because he was only Kevin De Bruyne that was closing down. No one else was. He could have just clipped that out towards the fullback. Instead, he took a horrible touch, and then he panicked, gave it straight to Trossard, who then went for goal himself. Was just over the crossbar, but then if you look to his right, Lukaku was completely free. If he'd have just passed it to Lukaku, he'd have just had the defender on the line to beat.
There's a Slovakian player, Bozinic, down on the far side, so play has been halted with 21 minutes played here on TalkSport. And Belgium trailing in their opening game at Euro 2024. Earlier on today, over on TalkSport 2, it finished Romania 3, Ukraine 0, which very few people outside of Bucharest would have predicted. Austria against France coming up at 8 o'clock from Dusseldorf. Tomorrow, Group F gets underway. Turkey against Georgia. Georgia's debut in the competition will be on TalkSport 2 at 5 o'clock. As Vavro is given a difficult ball to volley away inside his own penalty area. And Slovakia now look much more comfortable when they get it launched rather than trying to play the ball out. This Petkarik is caught by De Bruyne. Also tomorrow, Portugal kick off against the Czech Republic. That's live on TalkSport from Leipzig at 8 o'clock. Both those games in Group F.
Yeah, they've just pushed up the pitch, Belgium, as a team. Lovely turn.
Harrisland with a lovely turn to Abey Castagna. Looks to play in Bozinic, but it's covered by Anana, and it's all the way back to Cohen Casteels, who'll be moving to Saudi Arabian football for next season, having starred for Wolfsburg in the Bundesliga in Germany. Now Doku has been robbed by Hansko. Lobotka finding Duda, and there is a methodical air to the Slovakian team, but often that's to their advantage. Petkarik with a ball into the penalty area. It's only cleared as far as Bozinic. His shot takes a couple of Belgian deflections, and eventually it's cleared away by Carrasco on this near side.
Yeah, and there's a sign of that weakness. Carrasco playing at left back, just didn't follow the run with Petkarik, and that's where their strength lies. Slovakia, they'll play through the middle. When it comes back, they spin it out wide, and that's when the tempo changes. And Pekarik almost got it properly to a teammate. Ricocheted, of course, to Bozanic, who tried to get the shot that was blocked easily.
And the goal from Ivan Šranc, his first in nearly 3 years in international football. The Slavia Prague player. And at the moment, Slovakia have built on that goal in terms of their overall performance. Both teams look incredibly dodgy at the back. I don't think 1-0 will be the full-time scoreline here. Now Trossard spinning away from Harrisland, but his ball forward is blocked by Duda, and there is the opportunity for Bozanic to put his massive frame between Mongala and the ball again, but he wanted a free kick, but nothing given by the Turkish referee.
Yeah, just lost their flow, Belgium. They've stopped switching the play quickly, which they started to do at the start of the game, and getting some joy with especially Doku down the right hand side. And instead it's turned into a slow, methodical build-up, which will certainly suit Slovakia.
And Belgium's record in European Championship games from 1-0 down is not too promising. 1 win, 1 draw and 7 defeats. That win came against Denmark at Euro 2020. The draw was against England in Turin back in 1980, when the match was disrupted by crowd treble and tear gas after Ray Wilkins scored a brilliant early goal. England will be in Frankfurt on Thursday night for the game against Denmark. Of course, there'll be full build-up and commentary across the TalkSport network and online and on social media as well. 25 minutes played, Belgium 0, Slovakia 1, and it's been a tournament of early goals so far. And we had another one here today from Ivan Šranc in the 7th minute, given away by Jeremy Doku. Now Doku looking to attack, but shows far too much of that to David Hansko. And the Feyenoord man goes to ground and stabs it out of play.
Yeah, just got caught out of position there, Hansko. Doku straight away, he doesn't wait, does he? He doesn't hesitate, Doku. As soon as he gets it, he just turns straight at the fullback and goes at them. Drives at that nearest foot of the defender.
And Slovakia, the first team in European Championship history to field 2 37-year-olds in their starting lineup, but it's one of the young players on the field today, Jeremy Doku, who made the mistake leading to the goal, as Carrasco does well to win it back for Belgium down the left-hand side. Of course, he is an attack-minded player, playing at fullback. Maxime de Kuyper would seem to be the more natural player for that sort of area, but he does lack experience at this level. Now Trossard down the left, but he's quickly closed down, and that's good defending again on this near side from Juraj Kučka.
And maybe just a little bit more of that experience with Pekarik and Kučka on the right hand side. He's stopping any real threat for Belgium down the left with Carrasco and Trossard. Like I said, it's Doku who's the genuine threat at the moment for Belgium.
26 minutes played, Belgium 0, Slovakia 1 on TalkSport. And don't forget, on Wednesday, Scotland play their second game against Switzerland, 8 o'clock kickoff. Maybe not must win, but certainly feels must not lose after what happened on Friday night. And of course, full build-up and commentary as well here on TalkSport as Carrasco plays it forward towards Trossard, is taken out by Pekarik on the halfway line, challenged from behind, and the veteran will do well to avoid a yellow card. But it seems Mehmet Meyer, who we heard before kickoff, is often card happy in the Turkish league, but not here so far today. That's a yellow card challenge.
Yeah, that's incredibly lucky. Incredibly lucky. He's got that all wrong, the timing of the challenge. Lovely cushion touch from Trossard. Pekarik just then jamming his shin into the back of Trossard's calf. Very lucky not to get a yellow card.
And the Frankfurt Arena, terrific stadium, the spider's web of thick steel cables converging right above the centre of the pitch, which has the scoreboard and the big screens. to offer perfect viewing for those inside the stadium. Hovering right over the middle of it. England in the old stadium, which was basically an athletics track, lost 3-1 to the Soviet Union in Euro 88. Well, this is a ground which hosted one of the quarter-finals in the 2006 World Cup when the French knocked out the Brazilians. Carrasco forward again, looking for Trossard, but covered well by Denis Vavra.
And that's what we'll see. You know, there's such a togetherness about the way they defend Slovakia. When you think one player's out of position, across comes another. Good communication, that willingness and desire to get across and help your teammate out.
Well, Slovakia have had more possession so far, more attempts on goal and more shots on target. But here is De Bruyne looking for Lukaku with his back to goal, back to Trossard, infield again, but again it was a ball which gave the Slovakian midfield the opportunity to win it back, and it was a challenge from Mongala, which has conceded a free kick, and he's been shown a yellow card for catching Lucas Harrislund, and having seen the earlier challenge by Pekarik, I think he does have a right to feel aggrieved.
I think that's what Kevin De Bruyne is saying to the referee as well. You literally just let one go and then you've yellow carded my teammate, and actually Mongala should be able to say, can I pass that over to Trossard, because the pass was so poor.
And that high ball wide to the far side again for Harrislund, which we've seen so much for Slovakia so far. The white shirts beginning to flood forward again. Kučka on towards Harrislund on the edge of the penalty area, back towards Kučka again. Harrislund now on the edge of the D, but it's broken up but given away to Lobotka. Belgium again defending in rather laboured fashion. Duda slipped in towards Bosanic on the edge of the penalty area, but it's laid back by Kučka, but then given away by Belgium again. The low ball swept in on the far side from Hansko, and it's cleared away by Belgium, but when those crosses go into the penalty area, they are not being defended with a massive sense of conviction.
And actually Slovakia showing, if they are given time on the ball, which Belgium are allowing, they're not afraid to try and pop that into the forward players and have runners off Bosanic, and then look for the wide players to try and drive in behind the striker as well.
Now Duda, he's got space and he plays it forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Now Bosanic now on the turn, right foot shot from him. Never really got hold of it, and it bobbles into the arms of Casteels. But once again, it was so easy for Slovakia to work it forward and give Bosanic the opportunity.
Yeah, lovely turn from Duda and in towards Bosanic. He just was a little bit eager to get that strike away. He swivelled and wasn't balanced and wasn't really ready for it, but took it on anyway. Lacked any real power. Just needs a little bit more composure there, because it was worked really well from Slovakia, as De Bruyne has now got a bit of space.
Wide to this near side. De Bruyne fighting Trossard on the left. Lukaku, arms outstretched, demanding the ball on the edge of the penalty area, but Belgium are more conservative once again. Carrasco finding Mongala, and here is Onana, and you can hear the whistles from the Slovakian supporters as De Bruyne plays it wide towards Carrasco again. 3 red shirts inside the area, but it's headed away at the near post by Vavro, and now Bosanic again has managed to isolate Fast, diving in with the challenge, but this time he won the ball. Carrasco finding De Bruyne, but Belgium are ambling around at walking pace here, but now De Bruyne with the injection of pace tries to work the 1-2 on the edge of the penalty area with Lukaku. It spins back into the path of Trossard, but his shot is blocked. And now Duda for Slovakia on the far side. Hansko finding Harrislund, and he got lucky there, Harrislund. I think he was trying to find Hansko, but it's gathered by Duda on the edge of the penalty area. But Slovakia again are working the angles, and here is Pekarik down the right-hand side. 32 minutes played, and on the balance of play, Slovakia not flattered by this lead.
No, but look, Belgium have been slow, but from a Slovakian point of view, too often De Bruyne has been able to get that into his feet and turn, and he will eventually find that pass.
Here is Lobotka now down the left-hand side, plays a 1-2 with Bosanic on the edge of the penalty area. Schranz has space down the right now, it's lofted towards him. The early cross high to the far post, headed away by Castagna coming around the back on the left. But now Lobotka will find Petkerik once again. Vavro of Copenhagen and Duda. We talk about De Bruyne having time. Duda seems to have a force field around him whenever he receives the ball.
Yeah, they've done well in that aspect, Duda and Kuska, to get themselves free away from Mongala and Onana, who are pretty rigid in their positions in that midfield area, whereas Slovakia actually have interchanged very nicely.
De Bruyne, oh, that's an excellent ball. High wide to the far side, looking for Doku. Doku now can attack Hansko deep into the penalty area. The cross, though, is deflected behind by Hansko, and Belgium have a corner.
Terrific defending. And I told you, if you let De Bruyne just turn and swivel away, he will find passes. He will find that little clip ball over the top for Doku, who made the run in behind. Hansko did brilliantly just to stick to it. I just wonder whether he's injured himself as he slid in to block the cross.
Well, he's got a problem inside the penalty area. Skriniar, I think, may have actually got the final touch to send it behind. And you're listening to Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport, presented by Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now. And the fans in the stadium are watching a replay of the opening goal scored by Ivan Šranc. Doku with a hapless ball into his penalty area. Kučka with the first effort, which was blocked. And then Šranc was there to provide a very tidy finish from a narrow angle. It would have been easy to have blazed that high and wide, but he knew exactly what he was doing. Cohen Casteels had no chance, and Slovakia have played nearly half an hour now with this 1-goal lead.
They'll be really pleased in the way that they've approached the game. There's just a couple of moments where De Bruyne has been able to get on the ball, and that has to be rectified pretty quickly by Slovakia. Lobotka's got to make sure that the positioning's right of his midfield partners.
De Bruyne will take the corner kick. Doku is the short option, but De Bruyne's delivery high towards the leaping figure of Amadou Onana, but the Everton player, who has yet to score in international football, prolongs that record with a header straight into the arms of Dubravka.
Some leap that, though, right in between Vavro and Skriniar. Onana gets up, wins the header. Difficult because he's leaning back. So difficult to get the power with your neck muscles in that, but still, for him to outjump both of those two shows he's a threat.
Hansko is back on the field of play, and Slovakia have another free kick. Mongala with the challenge on Kučka. Mongala, the one player who's been shown the yellow card so far. Vavro plays the free kick high and wide to the far side. Harrisland has to try and knock the ball down the line to keep it in play, can't do so, and Castagna will take a throw-in for Belgium. 36 minutes played on TalkSport. Every match of Euro 2024 on the TalkSport network, and we're heading for another surprising Group E at the moment. Duda down the left-hand side for Slovakia, just held up, but the cross is whipped in by Hansko, blocked by Castagna, and it spins away off his thigh for another Slovakian corner.
What they've done brilliantly actually is Harrisland on the left-hand side has gone really, really wide, and he's asking the question of Castagna, do you want to come out with me? And if he does, well, Carrasco's not doing that role as a left-back as well as he should do. Fass and Debas are both left pretty isolated, and Lobotka has been excellent at then just finding that pass straight through the middle into the forward players. They've struggled with that so far, Belgium.
Ondrej Duda will take the corner for Slovakia. Skriniar and Vavro are both forward, but Umit Mele, the referee, is just calling a couple of players towards him. There is plenty going on inside that penalty area, and it's Carrasco and Skriniar who are both spoken to. And then it carries on, of course. Duda with the corner in towards the near post, headed away by Castagna, controlled by De Bruyne. He quickly finds Doku midway inside the Slovak half, but his ball back towards De Bruyne is cut out by Petkerik. And now Hansko, the fullback, who's still flexing his knee after that early problem he had, but he manages to turn on this occasion. But he's quickly challenged by Anana, and it will be a throw-in for Slovakia, who will now have eyes firmly fixed on half-time and a 1-goal lead.
But they have to do that, which is be so intense in their defensive work. When Belgium look to break, they look to quickly counter-attack there from the set play. Belgium with De Bruyne, Lukaku, Doku all sprinting forwards. Hashko did excellently to stop that, and they have to, because that's where Belgium have got a real strength.
Now Carrasco on this near side. Of course, one of the stories we talked about before kick-off as Cohen Casteels gathers, no Thibaut Courtois in the Belgian side. It's their first match at a major tournament without Courtois for 22 years. The 2002 World Cup, Courtois has played in each of the last 25 games in major tournaments for Belgium, but a falling out over an armband means he's not here. Duda for Slovakia. Again, he's got time to pirouette in the centre circle and assess his options. There is a notable lack of intensity, but now there is from Slovakia. A clever break forward on this near side from Kučka down the right. The crossing is deflected and volleyed in, and what a save by Casteels. Harrisland caught that really well on the edge of the penalty area, and Casteels flung himself to his left to prevent Belgium falling 2 goals down.
Oh, this is elite all round. First of all, Kučka with the ball to the edge of the area is perfect. Harrisland is waiting there on the volley, side foot, so much power in towards the corner, and Castile, what a save. Outstretched, left hand, firm as you like, to parry it away.
That is the save of the tournament so far, I think. Corner kick from Harrisland into the near post. It's flicked on. There's confusion. Hansko was almost in to make it 2, but a desperate challenge from Wout Faes inside the penalty area. Now on the far side, Carrasco has been clattered into by Schranz, the goal scorer, and it will be a yellow card for him. But Slovakia, on 2 occasions there, nearly doubled their lead.
It actually wasn't the best ball in, but the run across the near post just caused chaos as it then went through about 4 people's legs in towards the 6-yard line, almost fell for Slovakia to tap in, managed to scramble it away, the Belgians.
4 minutes to play in the first half. A real story developing here in Frankfurt, with Belgium trailing Slovakia by 1-0. And both teams have had clear-cut chances in the game. But Slovakia have had more than Belgium, we have to say. Now Carrasco on this near side, and a long ball played forward, looking for Lukaku. Lukaku again manages to go beyond Dubravka, but overhits it inside the penalty area, and it's behind for a goal kick, and that seemed to be slow motion there as Lukaku lumbered into the penalty area, but when it really mattered, his touch betrayed him.
Well, the ball from Carrasco's outstanding. The defending from Skriniar's pathetic. He's out of position, he's not checked his shoulder. Lukaku then just runs in behind, and Skriniar has got a massive debt that he's owed by his fullback Hansko. I mean, the defending here, I can't tell you how crucial it is. As a striker, Lukaku's gone through, he's taken a half-decent touch, and just at that crucial moment, when he wants to then take the next touch or the next strike, Hansko just gives him a tiny shove in the back. It makes such a difference, and then the control past Dubravka's paw from Lukaku. But that tiny touch is so vital from the defender.
And it remains 1-0 to Slovakia with 2.5 minutes of normal time to play in the first half here on TalkSport. Austria against France coming up at 8 o'clock from Dusseldorf. And in the Frankfurt arena, it is the Slovakian supporters who are smiling at the moment underneath the spider's web as De Bast Plays it square to the far side. And Mongala. And can Belgium find the response before half-time? They are 15 matches unbeaten since that remarkable loss, although deserved loss, to Morocco in the last World Cup. Of course, they went out with a goalless draw in their final game against Croatia. And that seemed to be the end for so many players. It was, but one or two are still hanging on. The likes of Jan Vertonghen, who is on the bench. Thomas Meunier is another player as well, although he's injured at the moment. As Doku comes forward now, right-hand side of the penalty area, away from Duda, away from Hansko, but he gives it straight to Lobotka, whose positional sense has been excellent in the first half.
Yeah, lovely line of midfield just in front of that defence as Doku was wide, so if that ball is cut back, as Doku did, then they were ready and waiting. Lobotka, excellent, and then he's calm, isn't he? He doesn't just whack it away, he tries to play out. He's a terrific player, Stanislav Lobotka.
And they've got players like Lobotka, who won Serie A with Napoli, Skriniar, who of course has had success with both Inter and Paris Saint-Germain, but a number of the Slovakian team play for relatively unheralded teams in Europe at the moment. Hertha Berlin in the German second division. You've got Boa Vista, Verona, Slovan Bratislava, but collectively they have been excellent so far. And their coach, the Italian Francesco Calzona, will be delighted with what he's seen. Schranz just overruns it, close to the Belgian penalty area. And it's all the way back to Casteels. How important could that save be to deny Harrislin on the volley to make it 2-0 just before half-time?
Yeah, that'll definitely make the highlights reels at the end of this tournament, that save from Casteels. What won't is the two chances Lukaku's had. We talked about him before the game. His importance to this side, how well he's done through qualification. Two big chances for him.
Into 2 minutes of added time, and Petar Petkovic takes too long over a throw-in, and Belgium will get the decision. I think it may have been a foul throw. We've seen foul throws really clamp down on in the tournament so far, which I think will be a change for many of these players who often get away with it, as De Bast plays the ball right across his penalty area there, not too far away from Petkovic. Now a high ball hammered forward by Wout Faes. He picks out Doku. Lukaku waits inside the penalty area. Excellent defending again though by Skriniar, who turns and bares his teeth and waves his fists towards the Slovakian supporters. The final touch was off Doku, and it's a goal kick.
Well, the referee's assistant's flag has gone up because it was aimed at Lukaku, who was offside, who actually then left it for Doku, who wasn't. But that's where Doku's still got to learn when is the right time to go down the side, when is the right time to duck inside, when is the right time to release and go again. He's a terrific player, but there's still so much to learn for Jeremy Doku.
High ball played forward by Dubravka for Slovakia. Faes wins it, but it's won back by Bozanic. And here is Harrislin now with the low ball into the penalty area, and it's deflected behind by Castagna. Bozanic there was completely unmarked had that ball found him, but Slovakia will finish the first half with a corner.
What they have done so well, Slovakia, is, and we've seen it with other teams where they've struggled, when they have gone forward, they have fully committed 3-4 players forwards, knowing that there could be a weakness there in the Belgian side, and having done that, it means they've got such a better chance of getting something.
Corner kick driven into the near post. It's flicked on by Bozanic, and again Castagna with the ricochet. It will be another corner, and we are into the 3rd minute of added time in the first half here. Taken quickly by Slovakia. They open out the angle. Harrislin, high deep ball to the far post. Kuczka with a free header, but he puts it wide.
Just needed to nod it back. It's a really, really good ball into the back post. Kuczka was completely free. Harrislin with the ball in towards the back post. Just head that back across and let someone attack it.
Well, that is half time, and the Slovakian supporters rise to acclaim their team. They have been superb for long spells in the first half. Gifted the early goal, the error from Jeremy Doku, and the finish from Ivan Schranz. Romelu Lukaku has had opportunities, but at the moment his attacking radar has not been working. And Belgium, the golden generation, are in a bit of a hole in Frankfurt. At half-time, it is Belgium 0, Slovakia 1.
Well, Nigel, Dean, for now, thank you very much. This is Euro Game Day Live as we bring you Belgium versus Slovakia in Group E. We haven't seen too many shocks at this European Championships as of yet, but Slovakia are 45 minutes away from humbling the former world number ones in Frankfurt. So 1-0 they lead. Let's chat to Nigel and Dean then and get their takes on this first half. And Dean, goodness me, let's first of all just talk about that goal that came very early on from Slovakia in the 7th minute. Just how difficult was that a finish in the end for Ivan Schranz?
Yeah, it's difficult because it's coming back at you. You've got to swivel, you've got to make sure the contact on the volley is right, and you've got to keep it down, of course. And he did all of those things very, very well, did Ivan Schranz. But what Jeremy Doku was thinking, first of all, going all the way back into that right-back position, I'd be amazed if that's something that the manager's talked about. And then to be maybe too clever in the way that he's trying to play out to Wout Faes, and they get it wrong, and they're properly punished with some terrific play. But Slovakia have had a really good go. They've been really positive, a lot more positive than I thought they would be. And they've been allowed the possession by Belgium, and they've took full advantage and really grown into it.
I was about to just say exactly that. They've grown into it, because at the start it seemed to be all Belgium. Doku in particular was fantastic down that right hand side, causing all sorts of problems with his speed and his quick feet and everything like that. So it seemed a bit ridiculous that he was the one that ended up making the mistake that led to that goal for Slovakia, and indeed with Slovakia as well. That press did the damage against Belgium. Just as that volley or that shot came in from Juraj Kuka, there were 4 Slovakian players that were in the box with only 3 defenders. They are really pressing high and causing issues for that Belgium defence.
Yeah, they've been really brave in that sense, and in terms of when they have won the ball, they've gambled, haven't they? They've gambled with the amount of players that they've got forwards, and it's caused some real issues because Faes and Debas have been caught isolated at times. You know, Anana and Mongala haven't necessarily been there to help them out. The 2 fullbacks are drifted out wide as well, so they've worked it really well. Lobotka's been excellent in terms of recycling that ball straight in towards the forward players, and they've looked a real threat, and it just shows that sometimes you've got to be really brave in these early stages in the group, if you're the underdogs, to try and get something, try and get a result.
It looks like it's going that way as things stand. It'll be a big half-time conversation, no doubt, in that Belgium dressing room with their manager Domenico Tedesco, of course. I mean, they were so prolific in qualifying, and yet it's gone to pot a little bit in this first half. Lukaku, we talked about him before the game kicked off. Has he looked effective in any way?
Oh, he's had the 2 best chances, hasn't he? First of all, the one that was flicked towards him from De Bruyne, and he took on his knee either side of Dubravka and he scores, and then the ball over the top where he's 1v1 effectively. He's allowed that little shove from Hanchko to affect him, whereas he probably should have just put that either side of the goalkeeper. So he's a threat, and he'll keep going, and it wouldn't surprise me if he scores in this game, because they're a little loose, Slovakia. Too many times they've allowed De Bruyne to turn and find a pass.
Well, as Nigel was telling us in commentary, the worrying news for Belgium is they've only come back to win just once in their 9 European Championship games, in which they have gone 1-0 down, and that was in the last Euros, but not a great omen for them, certainly. We'll get more from Nigel and Dean in just a moment, but these are your halftime highlights with Carling.
Half-time highlights on TalkSport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
Is this the occasion when Belgium will finally deliver at an international tournament we have been waiting for so many years. Doku is away now for Belgium, down the right-hand side, rides 2 challenges. Has Lukaku inside the penalty area, away from a third, infield towards De Bruyne. Lukaku with the shot blocked by De Bruyne. And here was an opportunity for Slovakia, and they score! Ivan Trent with the opening goal for Slovakia. Well, we were bigging up Jeremy Doku, but that was absolutely dreadful. In the opening minutes of the opening game, and Belgium's record in European Championship games from 1-0 down is not too promising. 1 win, 1 draw and 7 defeats. The crossing is deflected and volleyed in, and what a save by Casteels. Harrisland caught that really well. That is the save of the tournament so far, I think.
Those were your halftime highlights thanks to Carling. It's 18 and over. Please do drink responsibly.
Halftime highlights on TalkSport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly. Euro Game Day Live, delivered by TalkSport with Burger King. Save big with the $4.99 King Box. It's the ultimate match day lineup, featuring a barbecue double melt burger, chili cheese bites, fries, and a drink.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
On the beach, on the beach, on the beach.
Booking geniuses, choose from thousands of amazing all-inclusive holidays with On the Beach. Go all in on all-inclusive. Leave the bank cards at home, but not your trunks. On the Beach, book like a genius, holiday like a fool.
ATO protected.
On the beach.
Here she is, the 3-time world champion. What has she got in store for us today? Things are starting to heat up. Here she goes.
Triple builders, double stir. I don't believe it. And a chocolate digestive to finish it off. A thing of beauty. You have to say, the judges are going to love this one.
British Gas, powering home fans during this summer of sport.
This tournament, prepare for greatness with William Hill. Get ready for last-minute winners, legendary goals, and straight red cards. Oh, what was he thinking? Win 25% more on every single game this tournament with Bet Builder Extra, online or in the app, only from William Hill. Available day before match to kick-off. Bet Builders are 3+ selections at 3-1 or more. Pre-match singles, match stake £20. Full T's and C's apply. 18+, BeGambleAware.org.
Let's go live to hear about that winning goal.
The crowd's gone absolutely wild here. How on earth do you sum up your emotions right now?
Amazing. A hat-trick is just the best feeling ever.
Is it though? Is kicking a ball into the back of the net really better than food fulfillment from Burger King? That warm, fuzzy feeling of total food satisfaction, like finishing the last bite of a Gourmet King's barbecue steakhouse Angus.
No.
Correct. Burger King. That's food fulfillment.
You could skydive out of a plane. Or swim with sharks. You might even skinny dip in icy cold waters. Or you could get that inexpressible high, that guaranteed rush from finding just the thing you wanted, the thing you needed, at a great sale price. IKEA Summer Sale, now on. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Well, you can see why people are talking about Asda, can't you?
Of course, on paper, Asda have a great lineup with 24 packs of Budweiser, just £14. Then there's pizza price drops, including the talented spicy chicken fajita flavour. Was £3, now £2.
And don't forget the dependable garlic flatbread was £1.80, now £1.50. Could be the difference maker. What a lineup!
Get match ready at Asda this summer. Asda, that's more like it. Selected stores online, subject to availability. Budweiser 300ml, price not available in Wales and Scotland. May exclude Express and small stores. See asda.com/small stores.
This Euros, The Sun is bringing you all the gossip, goals and giants of the game. Get insights and analysis from Harry, should have been England manager, Redknapp, Jack, the maestro, Wilshere, Gordon, no nonsense, Strachan, and Jurgen, the winner, Klinsmann. You won't want to miss it. Don't miss out, only in The Sun.
Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
TalkSport. Der Fußball from Deutschland.
How about that?
Licensed broadcaster of UEFA Euro 2024 Germany.
Euro Game Day Live with Natalie Sawyer
on TalkSport.
Treffers.
Welcome back to Euro Game Day Live, where we're bringing you live commentary of Belgium versus Slovakia in Group E, and it is the underdogs who lead 1-0 at half-time. Another early goal at this European Championships has given Slovakia that lead then at the break, and that's pretty ominous for Belgium, who don't have a great record when it comes to trailing 1-0 at a European Championships. They've only won one of those games that they have been in that position before, losing 7 and drawing 1 of those 9 games overall. So a lot of work still to be done for Belgium to record their first win of this European Championships. Don't forget, Romania were 3-0 winners over Ukraine in the earlier kickoff in Group E. So it's Romania who currently top the table. We will bring you the second half shortly, just when that gets underway. But right now it's time for us to bring you the very latest, all thanks to William Hill.
In the Zone on TalkSport with William Hill. Prepare for greatness with William Hill. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
So we were mentioning there about Belgium and whether or not they can come from behind and turn this game around. Well, if you think they can do that and win it, that is a 12-5 shot currently with William Hill. If the Slovakia can hold on for victory, that's 6-5. And as for the draw, that's best price at 21.10. Romelu Lukaku, well, he is favourite to score the next goal in this game. That's at 10-3. But he's had a few chances in this game, but not yet found his goal scoring boot, which will be required. Don't forget, he was prolific in qualifying. He was the top scorer. So can he have a strong second 45? We will find out. That was a look at the latest odds thanks to William Hill. Terms and conditions apply. It's 18 and over. BeGambleAware.org.
In the Zone on TalkSport with William Hill. Prepare for greatness with William Hill. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Now coming up after us, France get their European campaign underway as they take on Austria. And the Austrian manager, Ralf Rangnick, caught up with TalkSport's very own Jim White yesterday ahead of their opener, live on TalkSport, like I mentioned, straight after us. He said his team fear no one.
We are not afraid of the game. We are looking forward to it. And I think we need to play on, as I said, on our best possible level. We have to be courageous. We have to be aggressive. We also need some situations where we are in possession of the ball. So, yeah, we need the very best level that we can play.
That was Ralf Rangnick, then the Austria head coach, speaking to our very own Jim White. Don't forget, you can hear Austria versus France live on TalkSport straight after us this evening. We were bringing you second half shortly of Belgium against Slovakia, with Belgium trailing by 1-0. It's Nigel Adderley and the former England striker Dean Ashton who are our commentary team for this one. And Dean, just want to get your thoughts on France. Very much the favourites for many coming into this tournament. Are they up there for you as well?
I think they're head and shoulders personally, because I just think they've got the experience, that World Cup experience so recently. You look through the squad, there's strength in every position, and some. And it's going to be really interesting, actually. You know, we talked about England, obviously, and maybe a little bit disappointing in the performance. Not for me personally, but, you know, for so many. And we'll see how France get on tonight against a very decent Austrian side. So interesting to see how they go. You know, if they go and take Austria apart, then it says a lot maybe about how much they need to be respected.
I can see the Belgian players making their way out of the tunnel here in Frankfurt for the second half. Just in terms of what Belgium have to do to turn this game around, Dean, what do you expect them to do in this second half?
I think there needs to be a bit more urgency. I think they've been outfought so far by Slovakia. I think they've been outran by Slovakia. And it just looks like it means a little bit more to the Slovakians. And Belgium have got to show that same respect. They have, however, if it's not the players that are already on the pitch, because they've created the chances already, Belgium, they've got plenty of firepower still on their substitutes bench to bring on and to change things. So this is very much far from over.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been 2-0, in fact, just before half-time. Cohen Casteels put off a great save, didn't he, from Harrislin for that volley, which would have been a fantastic goal if that had gone in.
Yeah, we've just been watching, me and Nige have been watching the replays of that, Nige, and it's better every time you watch it.
Yes, well, it was a superb effort, but Castiles was equal to it. Slovakia making their way out. Can they hold on to this lead, or can they in fact go on and score another goal or two? Perhaps. You will find out. Second half just about to get underway, so let's hand you back to your commentary team of Dean Ashton and Nigel Adderley.
Thank you, Natalie. There don't look to be any changes to either side at half-time. Domenico Tedesco already out in the Belgian technical area. He'll be followed by Francesco Calzona shortly, and Calzona was saying before kick-off that a draw would be an excellent result for Slovakia. Maybe he's not thinking that now, Dean.
No, I think he'll be pleasantly surprised with his team's performance, but probably cautious, knowing that there should be more from this Belgium side to come in this second half.
And it's Belgium who get the second half underway, playing from left to right in their dark red shirts and black shorts. Slovakia wearing all white, leading here by a 0-0. The Belgian team again, Castiles in goal, Castagna, Feist, Bast and Carrasco at the back, Mongala and Onana in midfield, Trossard, De Bruyne and Doku behind Lukaku. Slovakia, Dubravka in goal, Pekarik, Vavro, Skriniar and Hansko the back four, Kučka, Lobotka and Duda in midfield, Trans the goal scorer and Harislan supporting Bozanic in attack. As Belgium try and come forward now, and it's Doku who's released left hand side of the penalty area. Vavro makes the challenge, but Doku goes back towards De Bruyne. Three white shirts converge on him, but he threads it back to Doku, but Vavro held his ground and makes the challenge, and it's cleared away.
Well, he's changed sides with Trossard. Doku at the start of this second half, he's gone over to the left hand side, but it's not changed in terms of if you get the ball to him, that pace and trickery. He just showed too much of the ball to Vavro.
And now De Bruyne again, looking for Lukaku, but Skriniar saw him coming, steps across, and he can now clear the ball away. In fact, he checks back and goes back to Dubravka, and the Newcastle goalkeeper, wearing all sky blue, hammers it forward. It drops to Duda in midfield. Wide towards this near side, and Hansko's got Harislan in support, who almost made it 2-0 before half-time. He comes in field, curls him a shot, and it hits the stanchion behind the goal. And for a moment there, it seemed that Castiles was left standing, but it just drifted wide from Harislan, but he was given the time to come in field and deliver that.
Lovely break, wasn't it? Hansko getting down the left-hand side, feeding it to Harislan. And again, Castagna, that's too easy. Mongala wasn't there to just protect that space as he dived inside from the left-hand side, tried to curl it to that far post, and was only a fraction away.
Carrasco down the line, left-hand side, looking for Doku again. Doku does well to recover following a challenge, and then plays a crossfield ball towards Castagna. Infield to Onana for Belgium, who trail here by a 0-0 on Talk Sport with 2.5 minutes played in the second half. The match being played in Frankfurt. Following this, Belgium go to Cologne to meet Romania, who won 3-0 today against Ukraine. Carrasco down the left had De Bruyne in support, but hits it straight at Vavro, and De Bruyne wastes no time in telling Carrasco where he should have played the ball, but Slovakia will hammer the ball to safety.
That's much better tempo though from Belgium. Ball in towards Doku, fed it round the corner to Carrasco. He's got to slide it down the side for De Bruyne. He tried to play it through Vavro's legs. De Bruyne is just saying, just play it down the side, I was free. But the tempo of that was much better from Belgium.
And at times, Belgium have gone for the Hollywood option. And against a Slovakian team who are extremely well drilled, that has not come off for them so far. Now Onana, infield towards Mongala, who was booked for Belgium in the first half. 3.5 minutes played. Slovakia still leading by a 0-0, and they have led since the 7th minute. If you've just joined us on Talk Sport, Jeremy Doku's error punished by Ivan Schrans. Now Lukaku Well, he was having his shirt pulled by Vavro, but I think he was holding on as well, and the decision goes against the Belgian striker.
Poor decision. That was just a really good physical tussle between Vavro and Lukaku.
I'm not sure how he can penalise Lukaku there when Lukaku was holding on to Vavro's shirt, but Lukaku's shirt was almost pulled off his back as well.
Just let that go. That's just a good tussle. There's going to be a bit of pulling.
Castagna on this near side, but Skriniar, the captain, comes across to cut it out for Slovakia. Now Fass on the halfway line, but the ball forward will be cleared. Harrisland plays the ball in field, but I think the ball had gone out just in front of the technical areas as Harrisland tangled with Castagna, and it will be a throw-in for Belgium. Austria against France coming up from Dusseldorf at 8 o'clock. Of course, the Netherlands came from behind to beat Poland the opening match in Group D yesterday, and Belgium looking to do something similar here.
What they've done as well is, with Jeremy Doku being on the left-hand side, Carrasco has released himself from that left-back area where he didn't really get forwards actually in the first half. Every time now the ball goes towards Doku, he's trying to race in behind him.
Belgium have given the ball away again, and very quickly Fass has presented it straight to Harrisland. He's challenged by Onana. Pretty desperate defending there from Belgium on the edge of their own penalty area. In the end, it's given away by Fass for a second time as he's closed down by Bosanic, and it will be a throw-in to Slovakia by the corner flag on this near side. And what on earth are Belgium doing there?
Oh, it's just a lack of intensity and professionalism, I would say, there from Fass. You know, just make sure of the pass. You know, just dangling a leg, trying to flick it into midfield. It's got to be done with purpose in these sorts of games. It's no time to be relaxing.
Now Duda from the throw-in on this near side has support from Hansko, but drives it into the body of Castagna, and it will be another Slovakian throw-in, who are attacking the left-hand end of the stadium, which is full of Slovakian supporters banging their drums and offering terrific colour and support to their team. Now it's hammered in from long range from Vavro from fully 35 yards out. It's wide, but he really caught hold of that.
Opened up for him. Thought, why not? This could be a moment that could last forever. It wasn't.
But it shows the confidence in this Slovakian team. Of course, they were given the real boost of the early goal, and since that moment they have really played in the faces of Belgium, and Belgium have not enjoyed it one little bit.
But they should have expected it, and they looked a little shocked at it in the first half. This has been a tiny bit better though from the Belgians. They've moved the ball quicker. Carrasco's released himself.
Doku looking to spin away from the challenge on the far side, but Pekarik did well to just jab out a telescopic leg and guide the ball out of play for a Belgian throw-in. 52 minutes played on TalkSport. Belgium 0, Slovakia 1. Romania surprising Ukraine 3-0 in the opening game of the day in Munich. And I think many people were anticipating comfortable wins for Ukraine and Belgium in the opening round of games in Group E, but at the moment Slovakia and Romania are producing real upsets.
Leandro Trossard annoyed at that decision. The throw-in's not gone his way. Hansko, excellent challenge though, and he's been not really got himself in the game. That one chance Trossard had when Dubravka made a mistake, but we haven't seen enough of him on the ball. Trossard, thought he would be one of certainly the main players for Belgium.
Kuchka plays it forward. Harrisland quickly into the path of Bosanic, and now Lobotka's got space to drive forward for Slovakia. Away to the left-hand side, and there is support for Duda. Bosanic was waiting for the cross, but he was the only real target in a white shirt. But Slovakia worked the ball around intelligently. Kuchka was looking for the wide open spaces on the far side, and Pekarik, who at the age of 37 made a long bursting run of 75 yards and now has to turn around and do it again.
Oh, it's a waste, because it was lovely interplay. Lobotka, Duda, just released the space on the right-hand side. Pekarik was completely free. Kuka with a really poor pass because Carrasco was out of position as well.
And Slovakia travelled to Dusseldorf to meet Ukraine for the early game on Friday. And they will fancy that, the way things have gone in this group so far today. But here is Doku now coming forward at pace for Belgium. Square to De Bruyne, further wide to Trossard on the right, but the pass was overhit. And again, Skriniar with an excellent challenge. He celebrates every challenge like a goal, and he was entitled to there because Trossard was in plenty of space inside the penalty area, but Skriniar ate up the ground.
Yeah, poor old Peter Pekarik. He wishes Doku was back over on that other side for his teammate to deal with. He just got twisted up and he got ran away from by Doku. Fed De Bruyne towards Trossard, but Skriniar, they're so physical in the right way.
Now Lukaku on the edge of the penalty area, laid back to Trossard. Here is Lukaku again, fires it into the near post, and it's beaten away by Dubravka for a corner.
Yeah, that's better from Trossard on the half turn, looking to feed Lukaku down the sides. That's where he's really, really strong. Just peels off and makes that arcing run as they take the corner short.
Short to Trossard. High ball towards the far post, nodded across the face of goal, and finished by Lukaku. And Belgium are level. 10 minutes into the second half, and yet again it is Romelu Lukaku, the record breaker in qualifying, scores Belgium's first goal at Euro 2024. Deadly from 6 inches, but he won't care. Belgium won't care. It is 1-1.
He could not miss. Romelu Lukaku. All the work was done by the short, quick corner. They were caught sleeping, especially at the back post. Hanchko wasn't ready.
Is he offside?
Well, it'll be checked, of course it will be. But Hanchko wasn't ready. He didn't turn, he didn't see Onana, who's their biggest threat, and he does the right thing. He just nods it back across goal past Dubravka. Lukaku's there from literally a yard out, just stealing a goal, and why shouldn't he?
They are checking this. Bastian Dankert is having a look. And both teams have set up for the restart. At the moment, Umit Mela is just waiting for clarification. The question is, was Lukaku offside when the ball was nodded down? And he was offside. The goal won't count. Lukaku denied, and Slovakia still lead by a goal to 0.
Incredible. It must be so close, this. It must be. Because Onana just flicks it back. His foot is ahead of himself, Onana, as he's leaped in the air. But Lukaku may well have just been ahead of it.
Well, the nod down from Onana at the far post was forward. Had it been back, Lukaku would have been okay, but he nodded the ball on a slight angle towards the goal line. I think it would have gone in had Lukaku not touched it, but by touching that ball in, he may have cost Belgium a goal.
Yeah, he's not going to not touch it. That's his job, is to put the ball in when he sees it there, and he wouldn't have known either of how tight that was.
It is still 1-0 to Slovakia, and it is turning into a dramatic day in Frankfurt as Belgium have made a change. Wangala has gone off, and Johan Bakayoko of PSV Eindhoven has come on. 21-year-old, wins his 13th cap. He was a key player for PSV in their record-breaking title success in the Netherlands, and that is an attacking change made by Domenico Tedesco.
Yeah, it just means Kevin De Bruyne will slot into midfield, a deeper role alongside Onana, and Trossard will drift inside as more of a midfield player. Bakayoko on the right wing.
First involvement for Bakayoko down the right, infield to Onana. Mongala, of course, was on a yellow card as well, which may have been in Tedesco's thoughts. But Belgium have been craving the opportunity, but when it arrived, Lukaku was offside. But here is Trossard now with a low shot. Another good save from Dubravka. And inside the penalty area, Trossard fouling his man, but Dubravka now has been far too busy in the early stages of the second half for Slovakia's liking.
Oh, they've been much better, Belgium. It's De Bruyne into Lukaku, just flicks it round the corner to Trossard. He takes one touch out of his feet and strikes low. Down to the left-hand side of Dubravka. Pretty comfortable save in the end for a goalkeeper of his quality.
Well, Domenico Tedesco had great success in Germany, taking Schalke into the Champions League, and also had a year with Leipzig. And his team are defending an unbeaten record under him here. 14 games under Tedesco, 15 in total, but at the moment Belgium trail Slovakia by 1-0 with an hour played. And you're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport, presented by Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly.
They've just got to let that go. The offside goal, Belgium, because they're much the better side. They've got complete control in this second half. They've got to keep pressing forwards and keep the pace in which they've been passing the ball around with in this second half up to the same level.
Slovakia in their third successive Euro got to the round of 16 in 2016 when they came through the group behind England and Wales. Lost to the Welsh, but drew 0-0 with the English in St Etienne in their final game. Now Lukaku brings it down, plays it square to Trossard on the edge of the penalty area, further wide to the left, and Doku's got Bakayoko and Lukaku waiting inside the penalty area. Back to De Bruyne, and now Doku again, low in, looking for Bakayoko, and sent spiralling behind into those Belgian fans by Vavro for a corner.
Yeah, Pekarik brushing beads of sweat from his forehead. He's been really tested by Doku.
Corner's played short to Trossard, flicked on into the penalty area. Carrasco's effort is blocked by Skriniar, and here is Lobotka on the counter-attack now for Slovakia. Forward to Pekarik, who tries to hold the ball up and look for an option, and he managed to hold off Trossard and Carrasco initially before Carrasco eventually robbed him. And here is De Bruyne, one-way traffic at the moment. 61 minutes played as Belgium look for the equalising goal. Lukaku on the volley, hits the side netting at the near post after a high diagonal ball in had been headed up in the air by Skriniar, but Lukaku unable to find the finish.
Another big chance. Excellent ball from De Bruyne, caused Skriniar all sorts of problems as he's backpedaling towards his own goal, heads it up in the air, falls to Lukaku on his right foot to volley. He gets it wrong. Simple as that. All he's got to do is hit it back across Dubravka. He goes near post, slices it into the side netting.
And we've seen on the monitor that Lukaku, his right shoulder was offside for the disallowed goals. Dubravka's closed down by De Bruyne, but manages to get the ball away, but it will come straight back. Here is Doku, the Belgian fans in great voice. Doku wriggles to the byline, hammers the ball in, it's parried by Dubravka, and Bakayoko's shot is cleared off the line. What an incredible clearance as Slovakia escape. There was a Slovakian player down on the goal line, so play will have to be stopped here, but Johan Bakayoko almost coming up with the equalising goal, but it was David Hansko who kept it out, but he is now flat out in the back of the goal as the missiles rain down from the Belgian supporters.
Oh, the pace of Doku. Wow. Past Pekarik again. He just swivels and he just accelerates away from him, puts in a vicious ball into the area, falls after Dubravka tries to parry to Bakayoko. He does everything right. He makes sure he keeps it low, fires it towards goal, and then Hansko, absolutely outstanding on the line. It actually comes past Skriniar as well, and then he gets a knee to the face from his centre-back Vavro, who's there as well trying to stop it. It's just so unfortunate.
Yeah, Hansko is down because he cleared, and then the knee of Vavro clouted him into the face as he was falling, and I think he was almost out cold on the goal line, so play had to be stopped, and they will go through the concussion protocols. And Hansko's been in the wars here today, hasn't he?
No, I mean, if he wasn't already concussed from the trickery of Doku in the first half, it felt like he almost was there. He took a proper knee to the chin there as he cleared it off the line.
Well, the Belgian fans are booing, but they had to stop play.
Of course they did.
And I don't think that UEFA will be too impressed with the number of plastic beakers and various other things which were thrown down onto the pitch there by the Belgian fans as Hansko lay in the penalty area.
But also, I'll always harp on about this. How can that not be looked at by specialists and say there's no way he should come back on? You can see that he took a huge blow to the chin.
Well, he's back on for now at least. And the PSV attacker denied by the Feyenoord defender.
I mean, it just shows, I think, the character of this Slovakian side. There was 4 of them pretty much on the line, all willing to try and stop that going in.
They have really put their bodies on the line so far here. There's another Slovakian player down, and I think they're trying to milk the clock as well here. It's Harrisland who is writhing in apparent agony on the halfway line, and there'll be another break in play. But this is game management. This is what you have to do at times.
I mean, that was a definite injury in the penalty area. Harrisland feels like he took a whack from Castagna as well. You know, if anything, they just want to break the play up, don't they? Because they've got a real bit of momentum so far in this second half. Belgium, it only feels like a matter of time before they do score.
20 minutes played in the second half. Still Belgium 0, Slovakia 1 as De Bruyne has been clipped by Bozanic, and it will be a free kick. Bozanic is quick to protest, but De Bruyne keen to get on with things. It's a warm evening, and a number of the Belgian players have their shirts drenched in sweat, sticking to their bodies here as Fast goes all the way back towards Casteels. And he now hammers the ball long downfield, looking for Bakayoko on this near side. Nodded away though by Hanska. Duda clips the ball over the head of Bakayoko, who almost charged in like the bull there, and Duda was the matador, and as a result Slovakia have it back with Lobotka.
They've been really good, haven't they, Lobotka and Duda?
Oh, excellent.
So composed.
Now Bozanic, he's challenged by Vas, and Belfast does just enough to win it back. And Bozanic as well has worked hard, incredibly hard, with often very little service around him, but that's often his role for Slovakia, particularly playing away from home in international football. De Bruyne finds Bakayoko, the space on this near side. Hansko was rather sucked into the centre, back to De Bruyne, but the shot blocked on the edge of the penalty area by Duda.
Getting more and more involved now, De Bruyne, as Slovakian defenders are starting to fatigue, both mentally and physically, not checking their shoulder as to where he is. He's having more influence because he's deeper as well. He can play that kind of quarterback role where he plays a longer pass.
Anana turning into the path of De Bruyne again, midway inside the Slovakia half. Now Bakayoko. And De Bruyne, 30 yards out, low towards Lukaku, who tries to get the ball out of his feet and get the shot in, but he can't do so. Now De Bruyne tries to turn and play it back towards Anana. He goes down. Well, the free kick's been given here for the challenge by Duda, who may just have been slightly unfortunate, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, he gets the ball to start with, but then I think the follow-through maybe just catches Anana. He slides in, he gets a bit of the ball, but he goes through Anana's left ankle to get to the ball. And nowadays referees are pretty hot on those situations.
Well, Calzona, the Slovakian coach, right in the face of Serdar Kuzubiuk, the fourth official, complaining about that, but it's a free kick for Belgium. The midpoint of the second half on TalkSport. We'll see the French for the first time this evening against Austria in Group D in Dusseldorf at 8 o'clock. De Bruyne with the free kick, headed away at the near post by Vavro. Lobotka will try and chase the ball out. Already a number of Slovakian players looking very tired, and we still have 25 minutes or so to play.
They just need to, again, it's about that. They've got plenty of experience, but very difficult at the moment to try and get up and out of their own half.
Lobotka again, finding Skriniar, who just launches it forward. Bozanic does well, then crumples under the challenge of De Bas and then goes down. Nothing given though, as a high ball wide towards Doku on the far side, but it's over his head, and it will be a throw-in for Slovakia. And another white-shirted player is down. This time it's Robert Bozanic, and there was going to be a double change made by Slovakia, and Bozanic is coming off, and David Stranic of Slovan Bratislava will come on, a player who's been loaned from Spezia back to his original club for a second spell this season. And Botinic, who has more than played his part, gets a standing ovation. He looks absolutely shattered.
Yeah, he's put in a terrific shift up there on his own. I thought he was excellent first half, taking it into feet and bringing others into the game, but starting to tire, and it's not sticking up there anymore, and it's so vital now they try and do that.
Lucas Haraslan is also coming off, and Thomas Suslov, who plays for Verona in Italy, will come on to replace him. And the fresh legs much needed for Slovakia in what's been a rearguard action for much of the second half. But now Lobotka still full of running beyond the challenge of Bakayoko. Wide to Suslov, his first involvement, but the pass in field was behind Hansko, who is now called upfield, but it's won back brilliantly on the edge of the penalty area. Kuczka quickly into the path of Strelec, but he's unable to evade the challenge. But now it's won back again on the far side by Kuczka. Strelec providing the width down the right hand side, and Slovakia just looking to play keep ball inside the Belgian half for a second to give their defenders a breather. Here is Duda, holds off one challenge and then a second. A mazy dribble from him away from two Belgians to find Hansko, and then forward again towards Suslov on this near side. Fast tries to clear. Suslov putting him under pressure. The same goes for Castagna as the evening sunshine illuminates the playing surface in Frankfurt once again, and Fast gave the ball away very cheaply there in a dangerous area, but he quickly got it back from Suslov, and it's a goal kick.
Yeah, good energy shown though from Slovakia to win the ball back twice, once off De Bruyne and once off Doku. And that's what they've got to try and do a little bit more, as hard as it is to try and stop that ball even getting to a position where you're backtracking towards your own goal. Can those fresh forward players try and win it higher up?
19 minutes to play. Belgium 0, Slovakia 1. You're listening to Euro Game Day live on TalkSport, presented by Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now. Can Belgium prize anything from the opening game here, as De Bruyne tumbles midway inside the Slovak half, but no free kick given. Slovakia did beat Poland in their opening game 3 years ago, as they come forward again now with Bakayoko looking for Lukaku inside the penalty area, on towards Doku, but again Lobotka, he has been outstanding, wins it back. A high ball forward looking for Strelec, but he's beaten to it by Fass, and Belgium's waves of red shirts sweep forward again.
Well, it's the first time Duda's made a mistake, gave the ball away, but his midfield teammate Lobotka was in the right place, because it was 5 against 3.
Forward now towards Trossard on the stretch on the edge of the penalty area, but Skriniar comes across and will guide it back towards Dubravka. Plenty of Premier League players on show here today, and it's Premier League fixture results, fixture release day tomorrow at 9 o'clock. It would be some story if we gave you the results as well. And you can follow those on the TalkSport network, online and on social media as well. And a player who'll be in the Premier League next season, Ipswich's Connor Chaplin, will be a guest on TalkSport Breakfast tomorrow as well. 9 a.m. for the fixture release for the Premier League. The EFL coming up in a couple of weeks' time, and of course you can follow all the EFL action on the home of the EFL, TalkSport 2, throughout the season. Strelec coming forward now, back towards Lobotka. 17 minutes to play. The clock is ticking here for Belgium. They've been behind for so long in this game, and that scoreboard pressure has weighed heavy on one or two Belgian shoulders. Duda turning away from De Bruyne, and then he gives a tight pass forward beyond Strelec. Quickly forward again though from Belgium, but at times they have not played smartly. They've looked to hurry things and be frenetic, and when they've done that, there's always been a calm white shirt there to receive the ball.
Yeah, when they've showed some fatigue, Slovakia, and given the ball away, they haven't been patient in picking the right pass, and they've outnumbered Slovakia on a couple of occasions in attack, and just been too eager to play that ball in towards Lukaku and got it wrong.
Trossard coming off. Yuri Tielemans is coming on for Belgium, the Aston Villa player. His last goals came against England back in March. And it's a like-for-like replacement in many ways, and a number of glum Belgian faces around the stadium now. 16 minutes to play. They're still a goal down to Slovakia. The team who were the world number ones for so many years, despite never winning anything.
And this performance has kind of felt very similar, hasn't it? You know, they've got the star names still, and some fresh ones too. But they've effectively, especially in the first half, were outworked. That attitude wasn't quite right in the first half. Second half's been better, but they just haven't quite taken their chances.
The disallowed goal from Lukaku, the closest they have come. And we are ticking into the final 15 minutes here on TalkSport. It's been a day of shocks. Romania beating Ukraine 3-0 in the first game. Some wonderful finishes in that game. And Romania, who came to the tournament as nobody's favourites, have 3 goals and 3 points on the ball. And it's a similar story here as Suslov wins it back on the near side, and he's caught by Tielemans, and Tielemans' first involvement is to pick up a yellow card.
he went diving in there, Tielemans, and Suslov has made the most of it. There wasn't that much contact, but he's gone over the top, he's hit the deck, and because Tielemans has dived in, he's been given a yellow card.
No real need, though, for Tielemans to make that sort of challenge in that sort of area. But now Strange coming forward, finding Strelic, who went for the flick at the near post, and it was deflected behind by Fas. And that is the danger for Belgium as they push more and more players forward. Slovakia still have that threat on the counter-attack.
Yeah, good break down the right-hand side. Stranz with the ball in. I didn't think it needed the Cruyff flick from Strelic. He could have either taken a touch and swivelled the opposite side of Wout Fas, or he could have struck that with the inside of his right foot. He's tried to be clever, and it's spun off Fas's leg.
The Slovakian chants thunder down from the stands in Frankfurt. The corner into the near post is hooked away initially, then won back inside the penalty area by Strange. Hansko does well to play it back wide towards Suslov. Down the right-hand side, the big men are still forward. The cross is very deep, but it will be recovered on this near side by the veteran Petar Petkarik. He finds Duda. Duda with a high cross into the penalty area, nodded away at the far post by Carrasco. He had to make that, and Slovakia have a throw-in with 13 minutes to play, leading by a goal to nil.
Absolutely, he had to. Terrific ball in from Andrzej Duda, right into a dangerous area. Carrasco facing his own goal, but arced his neck and powered the header away, with 3 Slovakian players just waiting behind him.
Slovakia 48th in the FIFA World Rankings, leading Belgium for so long the world number ones by a goal to nil. This would be the biggest story of Euro 2024 so far. Don't forget, later this week, Wednesday night, it's all about Scotland. Thursday night in this stadium, all about England. 5 o'clock kick-off against Denmark. Stranic on the edge of the penalty area, fires in the shot, but he slipped as he hit it, never really got hold of it, and it skims through the penalty area. It's a goal kick, but from a Slovakian point of view, they are at the right end of the stadium, leading 1-0 with 12 minutes to play.
Yeah, they've just had a good period, haven't they? 6 or 7 minutes of sustained pressure and holding Belgium back in their own half. But there's still time for Belgium, and they will tire Slovakia, you would expect.
Now Lukaku on this near side. I think they're tired now. Here is Bakayoko finding De Bruyne. The pass back towards Castagna. Lukaku looking for Castagna on the overlap. Whips in the cross, headed away by Hansko at the near post. And again, there's a little fist pump from the Slovakian defenders when they stoop to head the ball away or hammer the ball to safety.
I mean, Castagna there played the 1-2 with Lukaku, went to whip it in. There wasn't one Belgian player in the area.
De Bruyne with the cross in now, looking for Lukaku. Lobotka is able to clear. Flicked on by Strelic. Over the head of Fass, but it's claimed by Tielemans.
Not good enough. Again, just Lukaku in the box. When you get to this stage of the game and they're looking tired.
De Bruyne now looking to weave his way into the box. Fighting Bakayoko. Square towards Onana. Lukaku on the edge of the area. Back towards Bakayoko. Players from both sides are down as Carrasco fires in a shot. It loops up in the air via a deflection behind for a corner.
Opened up that for Carrasco on the edge of the area. Almost felt as if the free kick may have been given. Just slowed up slightly, then accelerated and tried to take the strike. In that time, defender was out to block. How many times have they blocked? Slovakia, been such a theme of the game from them.
The thousands of Belgian fans behind that goal looking very worried now. 10 minutes to play. De Bruyne will take the corner kick at that end. De Bruyne's delivery, a header towards goal. It's a good leap from Onana, but it was well wide, and Slovakia will breathe again.
He looks like he's going to get on the end of everything that's played into the area. Amadou Onana, terrific at attacking the ball, great leap. Again there, he's too far out. He just needs to cushion that in towards the 6-yard line.
The goal scorer, and at the moment the match winner, Ivan Schranz, is coming on. And David Duris is coming on. And he plays for Ascoli in Serie B, the Italian second division. That's some context. Slovakia do have players playing in the top leagues for big clubs like Paris Saint-Germain, Newcastle and Napoli, but they've also got players well underneath the radar, players who would never get anywhere near the Belgian squad for a start.
No, but they've shown every ounce of passion for their team, for their country in this game. It shows what it means to these sides to compete at the European Championships.
Now Lobotka, who I think is a contender for player of the match, and to be brutally honest, all the contenders at the moment are wearing white shirts.
Yeah.
8.5 minutes to play. There'll be more Belgian changes shortly. A high ball played over the top again, looking for Doku, but Pekarik, 15 years his senior, manages to hook the ball to safety. It's a throw-in for Belgium. They're running out of time here. They are heading for 3 successive games at a major tournament without scoring for the first time in their history. And again, it's a hopeful ball forward from Onana, which is cut out on this near side. Suslov forward to Duda, and now wide toward Hansko. Back towards Duda again, who can break into the penalty area down the left. The challenge comes in from a retreating Bakayoko, and it's a Slovakian corner. That is streetwise play in the 83rd minute when you're playing a team with better players and you're leading 1-0.
Yeah, that's brilliant from Duda. He wants a piece of that king of the match, doesn't he? Duda alongside his mate Lobotka. Just when it's been needed, hasn't it? The last 10 minutes, that little bit of composure, that little bit of experience.
Suslov with the corner, high into the penalty area, nodded away by Fass. Wide towards Duda, and here is Suslov again down the Slovak left, looking to attack Bakayoko, and he's gone beyond him. He pulls it back, but Tielemans was there, and Belgium were able to clear. Bakayoko carrying the ball from deep, and he was caught late there by Duda, and it will be a free kick for Belgium midway inside their own half. And here are more Belgian changes, and it's Lois Openda and Dodi Lukabakio who are coming on. Jeremy Doku and Yannick Carrasco are going off. It's Doku's error which may have cost Belgium this game ultimately. Lois Openda of Leipzig coming on, along with Lukabakio of Sevilla.
Some young, fresh Belgian players to hopefully save the day. At this point, you'd be happy with a draw and to move on. Can they produce something?
Well, they've got Romania next in Cologne, Belgium, and that's on Saturday. Romania, of course, already have their win after beating Ukraine 3-0. Then they play Ukraine in Stuttgart. Here's the run forward for Luca Bacchio. His first touch on this near side, but he catches his player, and I think Hansko has gone down rather dramatically, but I think he was fouled. Well, Luca Bacchio has been shown a yellow card for that challenge.
He's done a Tielemans. He's just come on and
lunged in.
Oh, look, you want to make an impact. You're desperate to help the team.
Oh yeah, he caught Hansko on the foot, in fairness.
He's a little bit unlucky. He gets a little bit of the ball, but the follow-through then just lands right on Hansko's foot, as if he hasn't had enough pain already in this game. David Hansko.
5.5 minutes to play. There are Belgian supporters looking to the skies here. They can't believe it. Yet again, their team have turned up at a major tournament after dominating qualification, and they are failing to deliver. This is a team who have not lost a European qualifier since Gareth Bale scored the only goal for Wales back in 2015. 35 wins and 5 draws since. But when it really matters, they are failing here yet again. The Slovak supporters can't believe this. They'd have taken a point before today. They won't now.
But they've played in a manner, I think, that shows a lot of other teams in the tournament that maybe feel like they're underdogs, is what you can do if you defend as a team, but also you have that bravery to get bodies forward when you attack.
Strelec now closing down Castagna, who has to go all the way back to Casteels, who has been a spectator for long spells in the second half. 4.5 minutes to play. Belgium 0, Slovakia 1 on TalkSport. This would be the first big shock of Euro 2024, but Openda now, the low ball in, Lukaku! And Romelu Lukaku comes up with the equalising goal with 4 minutes to play. And there is so much relief along with the joy sweeping across those Belgian supporters. Openda with a brilliant cross in, swept in imperiously by Lukaku, and Slovakian hearts may have been broken late on. It is Belgium 1, Slovakia 1.
He would not be denied, would he, Romelu Lukaku? But he's got a lot to thank from his young strike partner, Lewis Openda. He does brilliantly against Vavro, who looks tired, who looks fatigued. He ran him down the sides. He got right down to the byline. He cut it back. Lukaku went to make a run into the 6-yard box, and then he just stood still on the penalty spot. The ball was perfect to him. He waited for it to come onto that favoured left foot. He took his time, and he just side-footed it high into the top left-hand corner. There was no way he was going to miss that, and it's grab the ball and get back to the centre circle. Let's go.
They want the winner now. Domenico Tedesco with an extravagant celebration, I think, as much as relief. They're checking this again. 1 or 2 Slovaks did appeal for handball as Openda controlled that down the right.
I mean, he was battling. He's obviously a smaller figure than Denis Vavro, and he was battling with him down the side. It was a long ball over the top by De Bast. And in that challenge, I mean, it
hits him on the hand, I think. Maybe just brushed the fingers of his left hand.
It does. He's battling with a 6'3" centre-back, and it grazes his fingers.
This is incredible drama. Umit Mela is going to the screen. Will Belgium be denied a second goal by VAR? If they think that ball hit his hand, they've also got the equivalent of snickometer down there as well to try and indicate if the ball hits his hand. This is a massive moment in the game, in the 89th minute.
It's gigantic, but it feels wrong. It feels so wrong. He is battling with a big 6'3" centre-back. He's trying to run down the channel. It flicks his hand, his fingers.
Umit Mela has made the decision. No goal! Handball against Openda. Lukaku denied for a second time, and the Slovakian fans celebrate that like a goal. The Belgians here are absolutely dumbfounded. They are distraught. It is still Belgium 0, Slovakia 1, and we're in the 90th minute.
Letter of the law, but it's nonsense. What's he meant to do when he's battling in that situation? He gets a shove, he's got an arm round by the defender, he's then trying to hold him off, it grazes his fingers.
Goodness me.
He doesn't gain an advantage at all from the way that the ball grazes his fingers. The ball's going that way anyway.
But the rules are the rules.
I know, but it just feels so wrong. So wrong.
Had he been a defensive player, that wouldn't have been penalised, but as an attacking player, you will always be penalised in that situation. And we have 30 seconds of normal time to play. It is still Belgium 0, Slovakia 1.
I mean, look, they've earned their look, Slovakia, because they put in such an incredible performance, a battling performance.
Can Belgium raise themselves a third time in this game? They'll be talking about this one for some time, whatever happens. And there's going to be a huge amount of added time. Here is Luca Bacchio. His crossfield ball is cut out by Lobotka. And Skriniar, who looks absolutely shattered, is closed down by Openda. 7 added minutes.
Not what those Slovakian defenders wanted to see with this young, pacey forward line now. Luca Bacchio, Bakayoko, Openda, Lukaku.
Everybody forward here for Belgium. Everybody back for Slovakia. Corner kick, high to the far post. Dubravka comes a long way and gets some desperate fingernails to that. Now at the far post. Here is De Bruyne. High cross back in again. Wout fast challenging for it. It breaks on the edge of the penalty area to Bakayoko, who tries an audacious volley left-footed, and it's sliced high and wide. And Tedesco just looks like a coach who knows it may not happen here today. But VAR has certainly played its part, but Slovakia would argue that they have worked hard enough to maybe earn the odd piece of luck, and they're going to make another change. Adam Obed, 21-year-old, will be coming on. Big time to come into a game for a youngster.
Just a bit, but they need a little bit of help in the defensive areas. You can see they're being overrun now with that 4-pronged attack for Belgium.
Now De Bast with a high hanging ball across his own penalty area. It's cleared away, and Duda then goes down under the challenge of Tielemans. Tielemans waves away the attempted appeal, and the referee agrees. And here is Lukaku again, looking to bring it forward on towards Openda inside the penalty area, and it was well anticipated by Dubravka, who dives at the feet of the Leipzig striker.
Lovely turn from Lukaku, into feet by Tielemans, in towards the striker. He just is sat off by Skriniar. Looked to play that in behind Vavro. Openda was free. If the ball was better, he was through.
The story of this game, the early goal for Slovakia, scored by Ivan Šranc after Jeremy Doku's error. Twice in the second half, Romelu Lukaku has had goals disallowed. The first for offside, the second for handball against Lois Openda. But you could see the look on Openda's face. He knew as soon as it went to VAR it was going to be disallowed.
Yeah, obviously you know as a player if it's touched the fingertips, and he's away again.
Here is Openda again. A low cross into the penalty area. It comes out towards De Bruyne. De Bruyne driven wide to the right, fires in the shot, no power. Comfortable save for Dubravka. And we have played 3 of these 7 added minutes here, and it remains on TalkSport. Belgium 0, Slovakia 1.
No, the last-ditch tackle, wasn't it, from Anchko? Just did enough to put De Bruyne off, not allowing him to get a clean strike towards the far corner. Just bobbled into the hands of Dubravka, and now here comes the cramps.
Duda is down. That's what Dean's referring to, not some mid-60s Mersey beat band, as Duda received some treatment on the touchline here, and we're watching again on the monitor De Bruyne's effort. Second half, I mean, De Bruyne's had a lot of the ball. He's changed position 2 or 3 times, but either he's not had the support around him or it's not quite happened for him.
I just don't think it's quite happened for Belgium today. Second half they've been much better. There's been those openings, there's been those opportunities when they've outnumbered the Slovakian defence. It's just not been as clinical as it's needed to be, and those couple of moments where on another day they go your way.
Duda's off because of the cramps, and Adam Obert comes on.
One for the teenagers.
And Duda here has been magnificent, and there will be more added time here on to the 7 minutes as Slovakia take their time with the restart. And we're just watching the replay again on the monitor of Openda, and there is a clear spike on the footballing version of sneakometer, fingerometer I suppose, and
looks a bit Krypton Factor
it does,
in its makeup, doesn't it, that image.
But there was a spike there. I'm not quite sure, didn't quite match up with the pictures, but presumably VAR knew what it meant, and as a result it is still 1-0 to Slovakia. We're into the 95th minute here. This has been a game with so many talking points, and they'll be digested before our game at 8 o'clock when Austria play France in Dusseldorf. Our third commentary of the day on the TalkSport network. But Group E is getting off to a start that no one predicted. Romania beating Ukraine 3-0, and here Belgium heading for defeat against Slovakia.
It'd be some double, wouldn't it, at the start of the day? Romania and Slovakia both to win 2-0.
But Belgium have had so many chances in this game, but there's just been a lack of conviction at times in their finishing, and that's been the problem for them.
They've still looked like there's some scar tissue there, doesn't it, from previous tournaments for Belgium. I thought this would be a fresh start with a sprinkling of experience, and it's not quite worked out so far in this game, but there's time still.
Well, they've had 13 attempts on goal, only 4 on target. Here is Lukaku now, 2 disallowed goals for him in the second half. Looks to find Bakayoko on this near side, but it's cleared away and then hammered further to safety by Odber, and sliding in is Suslov to win it back, and now Suslov wins it back from Strelec, and Suslov is away here for Slovakia. He's got support in field, but he's just held up by the challenge of Anana.
Brilliant from Anana, so good there. Looked like he was away. Suslov, those big rangy strides of Anana did for him.
We're heading towards the end of the minimum 7 added minutes. Slovakia still leading here. You can hear the whistles from their supporters. Belgium here with a hopeful ball forward, but it's a hopeless ball forward in the end from Castagna, way overhit behind for a goal kick, and Slovakia will take an age over this.
Oh, how often do we see players nowadays, they don't realise what you've got to do to keep the pressure on. If you're going to play that ball in, it's got to be high and floaty, it can't be drilled in. If you're going to play it over the top, it can't be down the middle, it's got to be down the side. So many little things to try and put pressure on. Instead, you've relieved the pressure with a straight, firm ball over the top.
We are now into added time at the end of added time. The 98th minute, Belgium 0, Slovakia 1. This will be the first big shock of the European Championships in Germany. And it's happening here in Frankfurt. A high ball forward again, helped on towards Lukaku. Stepping in there was Hanska. He's just about still on his feet, and in the end it's cleared away, and there's the opportunity for Lobotka to bring it forward now for Slovakia. They just need to hold on to the ball here, and that will be enough. Lobotka again, finding Suslov. It's good possession play from Slovakia. The challenge comes in from Bakayoko. It's all over! It is the greatest day in Slovakian football history. They have beaten Belgium, the golden generation. Gold-plated once again. They have failed to deliver at a major championships, but it's the Slovakian supporters who celebrate with their players. This a day they will never forget. Belgium will point to the 2 disallowed goals for Romelu Lukaku, but Slovakia gave it absolutely everything. And what a day of shocks in Group E. Romania and Slovakia both have their victories, and it's Belgium and Ukraine, who are yet to get off the mark. Belgium troop off the field, a dishevelled, dispirited group. The golden generation once again have failed. It is finished. Belgium 0, Slovakia 1.
Goodness me, glum faces all round from the Belgian contingent in Frankfurt. A very different story for Slovakia, who pick up those 3 points with their first ever win over Belgium. That moves them to second behind Romania, both on 3 points. 0 points for Belgium and Ukraine, the two teams perhaps expected to make it out of this group automatically. An incredible result then for Slovakia. Let's bring you our King performance thanks to Burger King.
King Performance on Talk Sport with Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction with the Gourmet King's Barbecue Steakhouse Angus. Order your Burger King delivery now.
Crikey, Dean Ashton, not many people would have predicted a Slovakia win there. Where did it go right for them and wrong for Belgium?
I just think the desire, the hunger, the effort from the Slovakian team was incredible. It just wasn't their day, Belgium. I felt like they gave it a real good go in the second half, but it just wasn't to be with the two disallowed goals. But what a performance from Slovakia. Every single player deserves a massive round of applause, but one player in particular, Stanislav Lobotka, absolutely outstanding in the middle of the pitch in terms of that calmness, defensively getting into position when he was needed, helping out his teammate Duda time after time, and then keeping the ball just to relieve a bit of pressure when he needed to be. A terrific performance from him.
Not long, of course, for both sides to focus on their next game, which is Romania in Cologne for Belgium. It's Ukraine for Slovakia in Dusseldorf. I mean, just quickly on Belgium, as I mentioned, no one would have predicted this surprising result, but plenty for them to perhaps build on and maybe put behind this defeat to obviously go again, as I mentioned, against Romania.
They've got the players, there's no doubt about that. There's the talent there. I wonder whether the manager is going to give some of those young players that came on an opportunity in the second game. Maybe a Bakayoko or a Penda, maybe given a chance. But I think this group is going to be wide open right till the end with these results today.
That handball for that goal disallowed for Romelu Lukaku will no doubt be a talking point after VAR intervened and asked the referee to look at the monitor after the flick of the ball from the fingers of Lois Openda. That will be one of the big talking points from this game. I'm sure they'll continue to talk about it on Talk Sports tonight. My thanks to Dean Ashton and to Nigel Adderley as well. That was our King Performance pick in association with Burger King.
King Performance on Talk Sport with Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction with the Gourmet King's Barbecue Steakhouse Angus. Order your Burger King delivery now.
Well, it has been a day of shocks already, with Romania beating Ukraine, Slovakia picking up all 3 points against Belgium. So can Austria make it a hat-trick of surprises when they take on France? We'll cross to Dusseldorf for that game live next with Hugh Wozencroft.
Euro Game Day Live on Talk Sport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
Create your avatar. Pwn your first nude. Enjoy your newfound power. Climb the leaderboard. Dominate the leaderboard. Listen to people scream your gamer tag. Kirsty_26. 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 For less.
Selected IKEA gaming setups are now at a new lower price, along with thousands of other products. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Let's go live to hear about that winning goal.
The crowd's gone absolutely wild here. How on earth do you sum up your emotions right now?
Amazing. A hat-trick is just the best feeling ever.
Is it though? Is kicking a ball into the back of the net really better than food fulfillment from Burger King? That warm, fuzzy feeling of total food satisfaction, like finishing the last bite of a Gourmet King's Barbecue Steakhouse Angus.
No.
Correct. Burger King. That's food fulfillment.
Here she is, the three-time world champion. What has she got in store for us today? Things are starting to heat up. Here she goes.
Triple builders, double stir. I don't believe it. and a chocolate digestive to finish it off. A thing of beauty, you have to say. The judges are gonna love this one.
British Gas, powering home fans during this summer of sport.
This tournament, prepare for greatness with William Hill. Get ready for last-minute winners, legendary goals, and straight red cards. Oh, what was he thinking? Win 25% more on every single game this tournament with Bet Builder Extra, online or in the app, only from William Hill. Available day before match to kick-off. Bet Builders are 3+ selections at 3-1 or more. Pre-match singles, match stake £20. Full T's and C's apply. 18+, begambleaware.org.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
On the beach, on the beach, on the beach. Booking geniuses, save your summer. Get a wiggle on and book yourself a bargain with On the Beach. Big budget or small, we've got a mega holiday for all. Should have been a rapper. On the Beach, book like a genius, holiday like a fool.
ATO protected.
On the beach.
Well, you can see why people are talking about Asda, can't you?
Of course, on paper, Asda have a great lineup with 2 for £20 on packs of beer like Peroni. Then there's party wear from £1, the midfield trio of bunting, face paint and flags.
And don't forget the dependable 2 for £7 on Coke 8-packs could be the difference maker. What a lineup!
Get match ready at Asda with beer and decorations on offer until the 14th of July. Asda, that's more like it. Selected stores online subject to availability. Beer packs 10 times 330ml each, not available in Scotland. Coke 330ml, £4.25 each. May exclude express in small stores. See asda.com/small stores.
This Euros, The Sun is bringing you all the gossip, goals and giants of the game. Get insights and analysis from Harry, should have been England manager, Redknapp, Jack, the maestro, Wilshere, Gordon, no nonsense, Strachan, and Jurgen, the winner, Klinsmann. You won't want to miss it. Don't miss out, only in The Sun.
Euro Game Day Live, delivered by TalkSport with Burger King. What's better than a last-minute winner? A crispy chicken royale delivered straight to your door.
On 1089 and 1053 medium wave, on DAB, online and on your smart speaker. Official broadcaster of UEFA Euro 2024 Germany.
TalkSport.
Talk Sport.
Good evening, I'm Steve Forbes. The Football Supporters Association have demanded answers from UEFA after the widespread problems faced by England fans on public transport in Germany. The TalkSport crew on tour didn't get back to their accommodation until 3 this morning. Our chief football correspondent Alex Crook has the statement.
They say they're dismayed at what England fans had to go through at yesterday's game in Gelsenkirchen. To see fans stranded at the train station 3 hours after the game has finished due to transport problems at a major tournament is quite simply ridiculous.
Meanwhile, Serbia have been charged by UEFA over their fans' behaviour on Sunday. The first 2 charges was for throwing objects in the stadium in Gelsenkirchen, with the other for displaying, in UEFA's words, a provocative message. A separate investigation is being carried out into alleged monkey chanting from the stands. Scotland's Ryan Porteous has been banned for his country's remaining 2 group matches following his straight red card on the opening night of the tournament against Germany. As for today's matches, Romania stunned Ukraine with an impressive 3-0 win in their Group E opener, while Belgium were twice denied by VAR as they suffered a shock 1-0 defeat by Slovakia. And former world number 1 Andy Murray believes new British men's number 1 Jack Draper can go right to the top of the world rankings. The 22-year-old won his first ATP title at the Stuttgart Open yesterday.
Talk Sport News.
Tax cuts, a promise to leave the European Convention on Human Rights and a freeze on non-essential immigration are all being promised to voters by Reform UK. Nigel Farage has been launching his party's policies, which he claims will establish them as the real opposition. Labour and the Conservatives dispute that. And Russian President Vladimir Putin is going to visit North Korea tomorrow for the first time in 24 years.
Talk Sport Weather.
Largely dry tonight with clear skies, although some drizzle will remain over northern Scotland.
UEFA Euro 2024 Germany.
The most hotly contested European football tournament, driven by the passion and prowess of the world's biggest sports radio station. Crank it up. Euro Game Day Live on Talk Sport.
So far, Euro 2024 has provided plenty of entertainment, drama, storylines, and even today has felt like a prelude
to the main attraction. It's time for the headliners. Back-to-back world finalists, France, taking to the stage against Austria.
Coming to a theatre near you.
Little give and go, and Mbappe's in! Oh, it's 2-2! He scored twice in 2 minutes! And Kylian Mbappe has turned the World Cup final on his head! Across the fancy goal, Dembele! Turns it in!
With France, we don't need 2, 3, 4 occasions to score. When they come, we take it.
Griezmann's header! 1-0 France in the 90th minute! Lovely ball forward by Mbappe, the shot from Giroud! And there's the record! Olivier Giroud becomes France's all-time record goal scorer.
This is a team that's got used to getting to major finals in recent years, and they've got a huge amount of depth.
Austria are attacking down the left-hand side. Arnautovic is in behind McNair, into the area, 1-0. Marco Arnautovic, the skipper, comes up trumps for Austria.
11 wins in the last 14 games. That's not to be sniffed at all. Yep. They're a tougher ass to beat than a lot of people think.
It's time for the class outfit at Euro 2024 to put on a show. Kylian Mbappe and the superstars of this French team will certainly put bums on seats as they look to put their name in lights in Berlin in 3 weeks' time. Les Bleus played their part in a stunning World Cup final 18 months ago, but they haven't lifted the European Championship since the turn of the century. They're a team on a mission with all the talent they need and more. But tonight, Austria, their opponents in Group C, Das team are not here to play the role of supporting cast. They'll be eyeing another trip to the knockout stages of the Euros. It's kick-off on Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport, and it all begins here in Dusseldorf at 8 p.m. I'm Hugh Wizencroft. We're saying hello to 47,000 fans, already many of them in their seats in the arena. To our right-hand side, an ocean of red as those Austria fans come in big number, and Le Tricolore flying above many of the fans' heads away to our left as well. Should be a fantastic atmosphere to go with, hopefully a fantastic match. Let's find out who the managers have gone for. The team news is in. Your commentator tonight. Good evening, Joe Shannon.
Good evening, Hugh. On a sunny evening here in Dusseldorf, and Austria's justified optimism coming into the Euros has been a little tempered by injuries in the build-up, including to captain David Alaba, who is in the squad as a non-playing member. So Ralf Rangnick has applied his signature high-pressing approach to an 11 that contains Champions League finalist Marcel Sabitzer, and Christian Baumgartner could be key going forward too, as he looks to score in 6 consecutive internationals, which would be a record. Goalkeeper Patrick Pence makes his major tournament debut. Austria haven't lost at all since October. So it's Pence in goal, Posch, Danso, Verber of Leeds United, and Mvena at the back. Seibold, Grilic and Lima the deepest three in midfield, with Sabitzer and Baumgartner expected to get forward in support of Michael Gregoric up front. France's pedigree, as always, speaks for itself. Twice Euros winners and runners-up in 2016, and with Kylian Mbappe fit to start, they boast arguably Euro 2024's greatest on-field asset. The skipper has never scored at a European Championship. Does that change tonight, I wonder? Elsewhere, William Saliba's been selected in the back line. Adrien Rabiot gets the nod alongside N'Golo Kanté in midfield, with Aurélien Tchouaméni perhaps still not fully fit. And there's a new number one goalkeeper, with Hugo Lloris now retired from international football. So step forward Mike Maignan, who makes his major tournament debut. Of this starting 11, 7 started the World Cup final in Qatar. It's Maignan in goal, Koundé, Upamecano, Saliba and Theo Hernandez in defence, Kanté and Rabiot holding in midfield, Dembele, Griezmann and Mbappe in support of Marcus Thuram up front.
Joe, thank you. It's been a big day already at Euro 2024. We've witnessed the biggest win at a major tournament for Romania. They came past Ukraine 3-0. Moments ago, Slovakia earned just a third ever win at a European Championship. The team ranked 48 in the world, beating the team ranked number 3 in the shape of Belgium. So, Chris Uolumo, the former Wolves and Scotland striker, alongside me in Dusseldorf. A little reminder for the French team, they can't take anything for granted tonight.
Good evening, Hugh. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, exactly. It's a little red flag, isn't it? No complacency. Go out there, do what you know that you can do. And like you say, Austria are a team that, when they're at it and at their best, they can get anyone a good game.
That noise you can hear is the French team coming out to rapturous support. Antoine Griezmann, Kylian Mbappe, and many of the players giving the round of applause to all of those that have made their way to support here this evening. I'm sure it'll be an even bigger noise when Austria come out in a few moments' time. Just a reminder, France, runners-up as we mentioned at the last World Cup. They only made the round of 16 at the last Euros, but excelled in qualifying. They won all but their final group game, which was a draw in Greece. They scored 29 times, conceded just 3 goals. And the big headline of that team news, N'Golo Kanté in midfield, a Premier League winner with Leicester and Chelsea back in the squad after a 2-year absence. Marcus Thuram, his teammate, speaking to media at the weekend, said he has been horrible to play against in training. He said, I had the impression that there were 3 of him out there on the pitch. He said, the moment he's picked in your team at training, you've already won.
It just shows you the class of Kanté, isn't it? I think he's had a positive season. Fitness, injuries have been an issue, but he's back to his best, and it's great to have him involved in the squad. I think you're looking at Saliba as well. I'm delighted that Deschamps is giving him that kind of vote of confidence. I think he's questioned him publicly as well about doesn't quite trust him, does certain things that he doesn't quite agree with, but that relationship between Upamecano as well and Saliba hopefully will be very evident.
Austria finished second in Group F. They lost just once to eventual group winners Belgium, who won the group only by a single point. Austria 9 points ahead of Sweden in third. They are a very confident outfit at the moment. Chris, what are you expecting from them?
Yeah, well, I'm expecting the Rangnick game, isn't it? Tactically very astute. His team's that high energy, high intensity, high press, and I just love the pressers, where he's coming out, speaking with confidence, and his players, by the way, about controlling the game when they have the ball, but without it. That's where they can hurt teams as well, the way they go after it in their numbers, and they force it. The amount of turnovers they have, I think second to only Spain as well. They get it in the right areas and then they capitalise in that danger area. They create opportunities, put the ball in the back of the net, but like you say, from back to front, they're a very organised unit under Rangnick.
Suffering from a number of injuries, Sasa Kaladzic, Wolves man who's been on loan at Frankfurt, midfielder Xavier Schlager missing 2, Real Madrid's David Alaba's just come out. He's about to do an interview with another former Bayern Munich player in the shape of Bastian Schweinsteiger pitchside here in Dortmund. We've got a lot to get through before we get to kick off on the hour. We're going to delve into both teams in a little bit more detail. We'll talk Kylian Mbappe as well, who's waded into the political sphere, but has he done so at the wrong time for this French team? We'll also talk England and that maybe lacklustre performance, albeit taking all 3 points in their opening game. You're listening to Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport, presented by Carling, the UK's #1 lager. It's 18+. Please drink responsibly.
Euro Game Day Live, delivered by TalkSport with Burger King. Get your classic Game Day flame grilled Whopper made fresh and delivered to your door. Order your Burger King delivery now.
This tournament, prepare for greatness with William Hill. Get ready for last-minute winners, legendary goals, and straight red cards. What was he thinking? Win 25% more on every single game this tournament with Bet Builder Extra, online or in the app, only from William Hill. Available day before match to kick-off. Bet Builders are 3+ selections at 3-1 or more. Pre-match singles, match stake £20. Full T's and C's apply. 18+. BeGambleAware.org.
Well, you can see why people are talking about Asda, can't you?
Of course, on paper, Asda have a great lineup with 2 for £7 on Coke 8 packs. Then there's pizza price drops, including the talented spicy chicken fajita flavour and classic 4-cheese deep dish. Worth £3 each, now £2 each.
And don't forget the dependable garlic flatbread was £1.80, now £1.50. What a lineup!
Get match ready at Asda this summer. Asda, that's more like it. Selected stores online subject to availability. Coke 330ml, £4.25 each. Pizzas and flatbread end 17th of July. May exclude express and small stores. See AZOIR.com/small stores.
This Euros, The Sun is bringing you all the gossip, goals and giants of the game. Get insights and analysis from Harry, should have been England manager, Redknapp, Jack, the maestro, Wilshere, Gordon, no nonsense, Strachan, and Jurgen, the winner, Klinsmann. You won't want to miss it. Don't miss out, only in The Sun.
Let's go live to hear about that winning goal.
The crowd's gone absolutely wild here. How on earth do you sum up your emotions right now?
Amazing. A hat-trick is just the best feeling ever.
Is it though? Is kicking a ball into the back of the net really better than food fulfillment from Burger King? That warm, fuzzy feeling of total food satisfaction, like finishing the last bite of a Gourmet King's barbecue steakhouse Angus.
No.
Correct. Burger King. That's food fulfillment.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
On the beach, on the beach, on the beach. Booking geniuses, save your summer. Get a wiggle on and book yourself a bargain with On the Beach. Big budget or small, we've got a mega holiday for all. Should have been a rapper. On the beach, book like a genius, holiday like a fool.
At all protected.
On the beach. Here she is, the three-time world champion. What has she got in store for us today? Things are starting to heat up. Here she goes.
Triple builders, double stir. I don't believe it. And a chocolate digestive to finish it off. A thing of beauty. You have to say, the judges are gonna love this one.
British Gas. Powering home fans during this summer of sport.
Roll out of bed. Put the kettle on. Get into serious altercation with your 3-year-old. Try logical reasoning. Fail. Become the voice of Mr. Snuggles. Negotiate your way out of a tantrum and become the greatest parent of all time. For less.
Selected IKEA soft toys are now at a new lower price, along with thousands of other products. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
Großer Fußball.
UEFA Euro 2024, Germany.
And it's got in! Tomorrow afternoon from 5, uninterrupted, on-location commentary of Turkey versus Georgia.
Brilliant finish!
On TalkSport 2.
Back of the net.
This is Euro Game Day Live on TalkSport, coming to you from Dusseldorf in Western Germany. Already, 40 minutes before kickoff. Fantastic atmosphere here. We've had the French fans behind their goal at one end, jumping up and down, huge banners, flags waving in the air. Irresistible Francais, one of those banners reads. I'm not great at French, but even I can translate that. I think they've got some irresistible players in the team and they're trying to let everyone know about it. Kylian Mbappe, N'Golo Kanté back in the team tonight, Antoine Griezmann, and much more coming up against a very composed and confident Austria side who will cause them problems a little bit later on. We'll have much more from both camps in the build-up. We're going to talk about some of England's maybe not so irresistible players and their performance last night with Carling.
Euro Game Day Roundup on TalkSport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
So, Chris Uwalumo, Joe Shannon alongside me in Dusseldorf. Jude Bellingham, the match winner for England against Serbia. 3 Lions taking all 3 points in their opening group game in Gelsenkirchen. A very good start, you do have to say that. But it's Serbia who grew into the game, who had more of the initiative in the second half. Lots of questions posed. A boring game, some would have felt. I think it's left Gareth Southgate, Chris, with a number of question marks moving forward. Was it a bit of a wake-up call for England despite their win?
Well, I thought it was an excellent win. I think the first half was England were very, very good. Started the game well, got the goal. I think there was different responsibilities put on different players. Harry Kane, now we all know him, very good technical player, wants to come and get involved. But now when you've got the likes of Alexander-Arnold, Rice and Bellingham in behind, and to be fair, when Bellingham was coming deep, Foden was coming centrally as well. Harry Kane's responsibility is to try and stretch the pitch and keep it away. He's getting criticised, saying he's only made so many touches, not had that kind of influence that he usually does. Foden's getting criticised. Now I understand that it's England, and it's if you don't go and win 3-4-0, it's going to be critique there, which is fair enough. That's the responsibility that comes. But they were very good, and I just feel that Gareth Southgate maybe has to have that ruthless aspect. Do whatever you can to influence the game, as in you could see that Serbia wanted to keep it all kind of central and be compact and organised. So what do? You try and be expansive, bring on expansive players, the likes of Eze and Bowen, and ask a different question, really kind of put them to the sword. It wasn't the case. Serbia grew into the match, and I just felt then that England looked a little bit lost, and we're probably kind of fortunate not to concede in the second half.
I personally think so. I think it was a little bit of a wake-up call. It was a reminder of how hard England will be to beat, but at the same time, we are going to have to see a lot more from them to really believe that they're a team that can go and win this competition.
It's the best time to get a wake-up call, and you still put 3 points on the board, isn't it? All of a sudden these players can't get better. I was concerned about Bellingham. I thought he looked very tired, ran himself into the ground. He puts the shift in, but he's had a very long season. What was it, only 2.5 weeks ago? Champions League final.
Yeah. Well, he was the match winner. He was the man of the match. He was absolutely fantastic. Seems to get better and better. His influence grows for England as well, and yet there's a part of me today believing that, and I hate to say it, he should probably drop back in midfield to where Trent Alexander-Arnold started the game. Maybe Phil Foden, if he is to be given a second opportunity, should move into the middle of the pitch, and we should probably play a natural player on that left-hand side, whether it's Eberezer, whether it's